All right, everybody, how are we doing on this Monday night? How are we doing, Orc Hunters? Check into the stream. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. If we have any new viewers out there this evening, we're back. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Check in. Make sure you hit that like button, react to the stream. Make sure you're subscribed so that way you get all notifications for all live streams going forward. We're live at 8 p.m. Central Time every night except for Mondays and Fridays for the next few weeks until I don't have softball anymore on Monday nights. So I just move it back an hour. I had softball earlier, but now I'm here, ready to go, ready to get into the full update within Ukraine. I'm also going to be including, not tonight, I wasn't prepared tonight, but going forward, we're going to be including the China and Taiwan updates as a part of this stream, okay? So I'm going to be taking some extra time before the live stream from now on and getting some information about China and Taiwan. And I want to start updating us on that as part of the Ukraine war update. We'll just call it a war update. And we'll include China as well. So with that being said, this full live stream is, again, it's on YouTube and Facebook. We cover the full last 24 hours of what's going on in the war in Ukraine. Map changes, territorial gains and losses by the Russian military, the Ukrainian military. Go on to the latest combat footage and clips coming out of Ukraine in the last 24 hours. And I want to start doing that, like I just said, for China and Taiwan as well. So let's get into it here. We're going to be getting into it pretty quick. Russian forces are reportedly continuing to transfer troops from northern Donetsk Oblast to support defensive positions in southern Ukraine and maybe halting the Slovyansk campaign for the time being. And we've been reporting on this for the last couple weeks now. This is just some newsy updates before I go into the actual front lines and the line changes on the map. But that's why, I mean, it just reconfirms or reiterates the weakness of the Russian military up here in this northeast, and even a little bit further south in Izium and the advance on the city of Slovyansk. So this quick news update, this isn't a territory gain or loss update. This is just some news about the advance and the Russians on Slovyansk that has failed miserably for months now. Like, they haven't had any, every time it's like I repeat myself on this portion when I get to Slovyansk. No territorial gains or losses. The Russians failed to successfully advance on Slovyansk. Unsuccessful advance on Slovyansk. Unsuccessful advance from Liban on Slovyansk. It's been every single day. So I'm going to read a quick little newsy update about this region in Ukraine and the advance from the Russian military onto Slovyansk. It's going to be some changes and some moves from the Russian military that they've basically admitted that they have no hope here in this portion of Ukraine, in this northern pocket of the cauldron of villages and cities in the Donetsk region of Ukraine. Let's get this update real quick. The Ukrainian main intelligence directorate, Representative Vadim Skibitsky, stated that Russian forces withdrew airborne tactical groups from Donetsk Oblast and redeployed the units to occupied Kherson Oblast 2 weeks ago. Skibitsky added that Russian forces are also redeploying elements of the Eastern Military District operating in Slovyansk to southern Ukraine and are transferring a large number of troops to Crimea to prepare for to defend occupied Kherson and/or Zaporizhia Oblasts against Ukrainian counteroffensive. So moving troops, transferring troops from northern Donetsk Oblast to assist in the southern defense for the Ukrainian counteroffensives. And that's going to even further limit and inhibit the Russians' advance on Slovyansk. So if they're already given up on Slovyansk and they're not moving their, excuse me. I'm going to stay with green. And the Russians aren't moving their units to reinforce the advance in this pocket eastward onto Siversk, or even south of that towards Bakhmut. As we know, the Wagner private military company and the latest advancement from the Russian military was taking the Vuhledar power plant south of Bakhmut. They're not helping them either. They're going to be moving. I have to zoom out. They're going to be moving their troops from that northern region, that northern pocket of the Donetsk, and moving them to assist in the defense of the southern axis. Oops. I should just do it in red because it's Russian. It's the Russian military. So let's do it in red. And they're going to be moving them here on to move to the south, and then move the troops into Crimea and move the troops that are stationed in the Crimean Peninsula north to help defend the Ukrainian counteroffensives that are advancing into the southern axis. The Russian withdrawal of some troops from northern Donetsk Oblast will deprive the Slovyansk effort of necessary combat power, in the same way that Russian forces neglected the Zaporizhia and Kherson Oblast fronts during the offensive operations in Lugansk Oblast. The withdrawal will likely create an opportunity for Ukrainian forces to launch a counteroffensive in the Izium axis. They already have. Listen, this is just opening up another pocket. So listen. So right here, so this is it. This is it, right? So Ukrainians successful down here. I'm gonna make it clean. We'll make it clean. Okay. So Ukrainian counteroffensives successful here. Okay. Success. Ukrainian counteroffensive successful up here. You can see it. Taking territory back. Now, as the Russians are again, now I'm gonna draw what I just did again. Now that the Russians are moving their troops from this pocket of Izium, Liman, and Slovyansk, again, just go back and watch any of my map updates. I'll get to it when I get to the three fronts. It's going to be the same. Unsuccessful advance on Slovyansk from the Izium direction. I've said it for a month straight now. I haven't memorized. I haven't memorized in my head. So the Russians are moving. They're not even bolstering the advance here in the east further. They got to go help. They got to go help all the way down here and defend the advance onto the southern axis. Likely to heavily defend Melitopol, because Kherson, the Ukrainians just continue to hammer Kherson and the surrounding villages and cities, hammering hard points, hard targets, hitting ammunition depots in Novokhovka weekly now, hitting key bridges to prevent the Russians from crossing and cutting them off from the entire northern portion of the Dnipro River. Going through Kherson, they're cut them off. Right? They're working to cut them off. They're hitting the bridge. They're working on it. So that tells me if the Russians, and they've had unsuccessful, they haven't had any success here. And the Ukrainians have actually had successes as of late, small successes in this pocket, but they have had some. It's been a village, and granted, the Russians they have gone back and forth with some villages in this region. Like the Ukrainians will take it, then the Russians will take it back, and then the Ukrainians will take it. But as of lately, the Ukrainians have been taking taking small villages back to the west of Izium. The counteroffensives are coming here. They're gonna get some more HIMARS systems here. They have 4 in Zaporizhia. Four in Mykolaiv, 4 in Zaporizhia. They only had two over here. They're going to be getting more. And if they get more over here, that will significantly help advance into Izium, clear out Izium, and then it'll become a little bit more realistic for the Ukrainians to take back this whole northeastern pocket from Izium up to Kharkiv and push the Russians either back across the border or force the Russians further southeast into Donbas, into Lugansk, or even Donetsk, or they're not reallocating their troops into that eastern pocket where they took Severodonetsk and Lysychansk and advancing towards Siversk. They're not moving them there. They're moving them to go defend the southern axis, and that is going to leave this pocket that I've circled here with the arrows open for counteroffensives. The Russians did the same exact shit in northeast, and they did the same stuff in the southern axis when they went to go quickly take territory in Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. It was a power move. Quickly, they moved all of their troops and resources over here to quickly get that win there of taking these two cities. And now they've lost so many resources, so many troops have died doing that to quickly take Blitzkrieg, Severodonetsk, and Lysychansk, and now they can't even advance onto Siversk. For a whole week or two, they've been right on the outskirts to the east of Siversk and have not been able to move on and advance into that city. So we're going to expect in the coming month or in the coming weeks some further Ukrainian counteroffensives onto Izium as the Russians are reallocating their troops to the southern axis. Also, an update over the weekend before I get into the last 24-hour territory gains and losses within Ukraine. An update for who was responsible for killing the 53 Ukrainian prisoners of war. Shocker. It was Russian. It was the Russians. Russian forces were responsible for killing 53 Ukrainian POWs in an explosion at a Russian-controlled prison in Olenivka in the Donetsk Oblast on July 28th. Two U.S. officials anonymously confirmed to Politico on August 1st that no traces of US-provided HIMARS, which is Ukraine's most precise artillery system, were found at the prison site. The Kremlin alleges that Ukraine fired HIMARS and precision-guided rockets to kill Ukrainian prisoners of war and deter Ukrainian defectors. Satellite and other imagery from the site indicate that the attack only damaged one building, did not collapse the walls of that building, and did not leave any shell craters in the vicinity, very strongly suggesting that the destruction of the prison was the result of either a precision strike or an internally planted incendiary explosive. One U.S. official told Politico that the evidence showed the attack was not conducted by Kyiv. If Ukraine had used something other than HIMARS to conduct the strike, the attack would almost certainly have left collateral damage around the facility, including craters and other damaged buildings. Given the U.S. assessment that HIMARS were not used in the attack, Study Award assesses that Russia was responsible for this attack on the Ukrainian POWs in violation of the Geneva Conventions. Add it to the list. Add it to the list. All right, now we're going to go into each individual front. Now that I did kind of a recap of what's going on now, what's the latest, the quick news updates where the Russians are moving to the south. Now I'm going to go into each individual front. There's three main fronts in Ukraine at this time. There are three main fronts as of August 1st, 2022. All right, we have the northeast, the Kharkiv Oblast, and Belgorod, which isn't on the screen. I'll put that on the screen. There we go. We have the northeast. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, what is going on? Come on, map. There we go. We have the northeast with Belgorod and Kharkiv. Then you have the Donbas in the eastern front, including all the villages and cities that Russia has goals to take over in the east, in that pocket. And then you have the southern axis, which goes from Mykolaiv. I mean, really, the Russians wanted to take Odessa and Mykolaiv, failed miserably. They have no chance. That's why they continue to just shell them. So that's why I'm not including Odessa in the southern axis, despite Odessa being such a crucial port, and it continues to get shelled. There's no ground fighting happening there. Okay, so here's the southern axis. It goes from Mykolaiv all the way over to the border on the Donbas into Russia, honestly. Okay. So there's three main fronts: southern axis, Donbas, Kharkiv Oblast. We're going to start in the east. We're going to start in this pocket. I'm going to zoom in some. I'm going to highlight some of the main cities of importance here that you need to remember: Izium, Lyman, Severodonetsk, and Lysychansk in one circle. And then I'm going to highlight Horlivka, okay, and then Popasna. I'm going to highlight, when I go around and talk about each individual city, I'll highlight them in blue. All right, here is the advances or failed advances from the Russian military. And then I actually need to include Ukrainian counteroffensives in this region. Dubrovny, the Ukrainians, this is this little pocket, this blue piece. Let me see here. This little blue pocket that I've put the arrow towards. That's the latest piece of territory that the Ukrainians have taken back. They're fighting over all the villages around the Izium front, as the Russians have failed to advance onto Slovyansk for months. And now the Ukrainian counteroffensives are getting closer, as these HIMARS systems are super effective. They've changed everything. So again, main effort, Eastern Ukraine, comprised of one subordinate and two supporting efforts. The subordinate main effort is the encirclement of Ukrainian troops in the cauldron between Izium and Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts. Supporting effort number one, which we'll talk about after this, that is Kharkiv city. Supporting effort number two is the southern axis. And then after we go over the three fronts, we'll talk about the mobilization and force generation efforts. That's how Russia is deploying their troops, what units have deployed, any new random ad hoc battalions that are being formed out there from every other ethnicity except for the Russian ethnicity to go fight an ethnic war for Russians. And then we'll finish up with activities in Russian occupied areas in Ukraine and their annexation goals for September. Main effort, Eastern Ukraine. So first, we're going to talk about it. Slovyansk and the continuous failed Russian attempts to advance on the city. Russian forces unsuccessfully attempted. First sentence all the time. Russian forces unsuccessfully attempted to advance southwest of Izium and continued to shell settlements on the Kharkiv city-Izium line on August 1st. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces repelled a Russian reconnaissance in force operation near Olenivka, about 22 kilometers due southwest of Izium. Russian forces also shelled Shipol, Husarivka, Nostrivka, Protobivka, which is northwest of Izium, Hursharovka, Redny, Virinopilia, Dubrovny, Barankov, west and southwest of Izium. Barankov is right next to the arrow, right next to the blue arrow. So basically where the Ukrainian counteroffensive advance is coming from. The Russians are shelling all those villages to try to soften that advance from the Ukrainian counteroffensives. Continued shelling westward may indicate that the Russian forces may be setting conditions to seize more settlements in Greater Kharkiv Oblast as opposed to defeating Ukrainian strongholds in Slovyansk. The Ukrainian Main Intelligence Directorate also reported that Russian forces are withdrawing elements of the Eastern Military District committed to the Slovyansk effort and transferring them to support defensive positions in southern Ukraine. Ukrainians going to take that back. That's it. A little bit more. Russian forces did not conduct any offensive operations north of Slovyansk or around Siversk. So now we're including Siversk. So unsuccessful, failed attempts on Slovyansk, and the Russian forces in this area are now being moved to the southern axis to go assist in the advance from the Ukrainian military, the Ukrainian counteroffensives to the south. Now we're going to be talking about Siversk, which is just to the east of Slovyansk and right along the Russian front line from their advance. So, Russian forces did not conduct offensive operations north of Slovyansk or around Siversk on August 1st. Russian forces reportedly shelled Olenivka, Dolnya, Krasnopilia, northwest of Slovyansk. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces did not attack any settlements in Siversk area due to declining morale in units that have suffered significant losses of manpower and military equipment. We have previously assessed that the Russian offensive operations in this area will likely culminate in part because Russian commanders did not take enough time to reconstitute forces exhausted by seizures of Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. They're still tired from that blitzkrieg taking Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. They moved all their eggs over there. They moved all their troops, all their equipment, and powered it because they put all their shit there. That's why they had successes. All the Russian mill bloggers and the trolls coming on like, the Russians are winning. Look, they're taking cities. Yeah, they put everything there. They put their best of their best units they have, which isn't even Russian units. It's their private military contractors and other shit that took Severodonetsk and Lysychansk in the area. And now the units are tired. They've suffered significant losses. They don't have the equipment to deal with the HIMARS systems. They don't have anything to deal with the Ukrainian counteroffensive at this time, other than adding more bodies, which we'll get to in the mobilization and force generation efforts. Ukrainian forces have reportedly struck a Russian headquarters building in Permovsk, about 10 kilometers east of Popasna. So no territorial gains or losses in the area. Russians are suffering. Russians haven't been able to advance on Siversk despite being just to the east of the town due to manpower issues. Right? They're tired. They're not mission capable. They're not fully mission capable, if that makes sense to any of our veteran community. They're hurting. South of Siversk is Bakhmut. That's what we'll be talking about next. That's where the Russians have had success as of late, in the city of Bakhmut. Let's see if they have had any in the last 24 hours. Russian forces continue to launch unsuccessful assaults on settlements southeast and northeast of Bakhmut. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Ukrainian forces neutralized a Russian reconnaissance in force attempt on Yakovlivka and an assault on Soledar, about 17 kilometers and 13 kilometers northeast of Bakhmut. So, unsuccessful assaults after taking the Volodar power plant. Probably the Wagner private military company is probably not paid right now, or I don't know. They need to get paid before they do anything else, because they're mercenaries, and that's the only unit that's gaining ground for them, or gaining ground for the Russians in that area. Russian forces also launched an assault on Vershna, which is approximately 12 kilometers southeast of Bakhmut, and attempted to improve tactical positions around Bakhmut, but were unsuccessful and retreated. Russian telegram channel Voyny Otsimanodial published footage of destroyed vehicles in a field, claiming that Russian forces are within 2 kilometers of Bakhmut. Study War cannot independently verify this footage is in Bakhmut's immediate vicinity, or if Voyny Otsimanodial's claim is true. Russian telegram channel Z Kraken also claimed that the fighting is ongoing east of Bakhmut. So there's no evidence, but the Russian telegram channels seem to have some footage. All right, so they have some footage in the Russian telegram channels. The Z Kraken channel is got the they got the facts for everybody, undeniably, for sure. Totally can believe that. All right, that's it. So failed Russian assaults on Bakhmut. The latest was last week when they took the Vuhledar power plant. Nothing beyond that, and the latest assault on Bakhmut resulted in the Russians retreating. Okay, that's it. No territorial gains or losses in Bakhmut. Now we're going to go to Avdiivka, which is just to the southwest of Bakhmut in the blue circle. All right. This is just on the other side of the city of Donetsk. Russian forces continued offensive operations around Avdiivka and resumed assaults west of Donetsk city on August 1st. Russian forces unsuccessfully attacked Avdiivka and Pisky and then withdrew. Russian proxy authorities and military correspondents did not claim any new territorial gains around Avdiivka on August 1st. Social media footage showed large clouds of smoke in Avdiivka, reportedly after Russian artillery fire in the area. Russian forces also attempted to conduct a reconnaissance in force operation in Marinka, but Ukrainian forces neutralized the reconnaissance group and forced it to retreat. So just all L's for Russia on August 1st. The Russians are retreating. This is the region that they're advancing, and they're retreating. In this, they're tired. They don't have the resources. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the skill at all. Like that's number one. They're not skilled at all. They don't even know how to basic soldier. They don't know how to operate the equipment that they have over there. They don't have air defense for the HIMARS systems that have just completely changed everything for the Ukrainians in a good way. Just all L's. Hot L's. Ukraine served hot L's for Russia today for dinner, breakfast, and lunch. So retreats in Bakhmut, retreats in Avdiivka. No advances, no wins for Russia in the east at all as of August 1st, 2022. All right, that's it for the eastern region. Now we're going to be going up to the northeast in Kharkiv Oblast. The Ukrainians' counteroffensive is coming. Ukrainian counteroffensive. Wait on it. Right here. Wait on it. They're coming. Russians are moving their troops out of the area. I can guarantee you Ukraine's going to take advantage of that, just like they are in the south, just like they are in the northeast. Expect a counteroffensive in Izium. Okay, now we got Kharkiv and Belgorod. This is the international border. This is just, I'm going to zoom out so you know where we're at. Okay, get your map bearings. We were just in this pocket. Now we're going to go up to the northeast. Blue on the map is claimed Ukrainian counteroffensives. So this is all land that Russia had taken, and now Ukraine has taken it back. The yellow on the map is claimed Russian advance. So this is like territory that Russia has advanced into, or excuse me, has claimed that they have, but there isn't concrete proof that they have that land. That's why it's just reflected in yellow. When it's concrete proof that they have the land, it will turn red on our map. So I'm going to highlight a couple of the main important cities here, which is just two of them. Kharkiv, and then on the other side of the border in Russia is Belgorod. Okay, that's what I'll just leave it at that. Let's see what we got. Russian forces conducted a limited and unsuccessful reconnaissance in force operation in an unspecified area on the Kharkiv city axis on August 1st. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces withdrew after attempting a reconnaissance in force attempt in an unspecified area on the Kharkiv city axis. The Derachi city reported that fighting continued near Olenivka, and it is possible that Russian forces attempted the unsuccessful reconnaissance in force operation northwest of Kharkiv city. Russian forces launched an airstrike on Mospanov, approximately 55 kilometers southeast of Kharkiv city, and maintained artillery fire on Kharkiv city and settlements to the north, northeast, and southeast. So limited and unsuccessful reconnaissance in force operation. So recon, they fell back. So they haven't advanced at all. The Kharkiv Oblast is part of their September 11th goals, part of their annexation goals that they have for a lot of the cities in the southern axis. Hopium, lots of real good hopium for Russia here, and copium at the same time. So again, they launched an airstrike on some of the villages to the north, northeast, or they being Russia, launched airstrikes on north, northeast, and southeast of Kharkiv city. No advances into the city, no territory gains by Russia, no counteroffensive gains by Ukraine. Now let's go to the southern axis. The south, all the way from Mykolaiv to Mariupol. Quickly going to highlight some of the key Russian cities in Kherson, Melitopol, and Mariupol. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to highlight some of the key Ukrainian cities in the south: Mykolaiv, Kryvyi Rih, Zaporizhia. And then I'm going to draw the Ukrainian counteroffensive directions. And we'll leave it at that. And then we'll leave it at that. So supporting effort number 2 is the southern axis. Russian objective: defend Kherson and Zaporizhia oblasts against the Ukrainian counteroffensives. Russian forces maintained defensive positions along the Kherson Oblast administrative border and continued to undertake measures to hinder Ukrainian advances. The Ukrainian General Staff reported that Russian forces launched airstrikes on Bila, Krinitskaya, and Avdiivka, both near Ukrainian bridgeheads across the Inhlovets River. I'm going to highlight that in the green. So we got some super chat, John, $4.99 for Russia taking some hot L's. And then we got Sinan with a $20 monthly donation. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for all the support, y'all. Helps me continue doing this on a nightly basis. I couldn't do it without y'all. So here's the Inhlovets River. Goes basically directly north off of Kherson. I mean, this thing goes all the way up to Kryvyi Rih if you want to, but the fighting, I'm going to leave it to where the fighting is. Here's the Inhlovets River. The Ukrainians have taken villages back along the Inhlovets River. They've been fighting over it for a month now. So that is where the Inhlovets River is. Ukrainian Marines reportedly took 11 Russian service members prisoner after conducting localized counterattacks in an unspecified area of the Kherson Oblast. Ukrainian forces claim to have liberated 46 settlements in total in the region since the start of the Russian occupation. 46 settlements back into Ukrainian control. That's what I'm talking about. We need more. HIMARS systems will assist in that. Russian forces continue to target Mykolaiv city. Okay, and there's where Mykolaiv is, right here on your map, on the opposite side. Excuse me. Yep, Mykolaiv, on the opposite side of Kherson. So the Russian forces continue to target Mykolaiv city, Nikopol, settlements in southwestern Dnipropetrovsk Oblast and Odessa Oblast between July 31st and August 1st. The Ukrainian Southern Operational Command reported that Russian forces shelled Mykolaiv city with S-300 anti-aircraft missiles from occupied territories in Kherson Oblast. Ukrainian National Police stated that strikes on Mykolaiv resulted in damage to 58 private homes, 13 apartment buildings, an emergency room, and other civilian infrastructure. Dnipropetrovsk Oblast Administration head Vatin Reznevenko reported that Russian forces fired more than 60 rockets from Grad MLRS systems at civilian objects in Nikopol, and local Dnipropetrovsk authorities reported shelling in the Kryvyi Rih district that damaged railway infrastructure. The Ukrainian Southern Operational Command noted that Russian forces hit a dry grass field with 2 Iskander-type missiles launched from Crimea, but the Russian Defense Ministry claimed that the strikes destroyed a Ukrainian anti-ship missile system. So the Russian forces hit a dry grass field with 2 Iskander missiles, but the Russian Defense Ministry claimed that they destroyed an anti-ship missile system. So whenever Russia will never tell the truth, not a single time. Whenever they say something, it's not true at all. Like I don't even think I've ever seen Russia, at least since I've started this war coverage, since starting this war coverage and being really dialed into geopolitics and what Russia's doing in this war, they have not told a single truth at all. Not a single one. I'm still waiting. Still haven't seen one. So Russia strikes a grass field, likely starts all the grass on fire, kills all the wheat and all the earth. They kill civilians. They destroy villages and cities and civilian infrastructure and devastate and completely break all the rules of the Geneva Convention and all that on a continuous basis. But they'll sit around and then turn around and claim that they destroyed a Ukrainian anti-ship missile system. Ukrainian forces continued to disrupt Russian logistics by targeting Russian ammunition depots in northwestern and southern Kherson Oblast. Ukrainian officials reported that Ukrainian forces struck a Russian warehouse in Skadovsk, which is about 65 kilometers due south of Kherson City, and social media footage showed large cloud of red smoke stemming from the warehouse on August 1st. The Ukrainian Southern Operational Command reported that Ukrainian forces also struck 2 Russian strongholds in Oleksandriivka and Bladotin, which is both northwest of Kherson City, and electronic warfare stations in Bielivka in the northern Kherson Oblast. The Ukrainian General Staff announced receiving 4 additional HIMARS systems from the US on August 1st, so they arrived today. The 4 systems arrived today. Uh-oh. The Ukrainian General Staff announced receiving 4 and will likely continue to target Russian logistics and strongholds throughout southern Ukraine. Ukraine got 4 more additional HIMARS today. Could be that counteroffensive I was talking about in the east could be quicker. That on Izium, now that they have those HIMARS systems that we've been waiting for them to receive. That's it in the southern axis. Just ongoing volleying of artilleries between the Russian and Ukrainian military, between the Kherson and Mykolaiv Oblast, ongoing fighting along the Inhluets River as Ukraine continues to take back villages and cities along that river and continue to liberate. Because, again, this is Ukraine's country. Ukraine's a southern country. And when they are taking back these cities, they are actually liberating it, not like Russia's garbage liberation that they continue to say. So Ukraine is actually liberating these villages and returning them back to Ukraine. And that continues along the Inhluets River as Ukraine is preparing to mount this massive counteroffensive to take back the city of Kherson. The Russians are responding. They know what's happening. They know what's going to happen. That's why they're weakening other areas in the east to try to assist with this southern defense and preventing the Ukrainian counteroffensive from advancing. From Chungus, bumped into a percussion guy at the bar a few nights ago. I mean, Democrat either. Well, thank you, Sweaty, for that super chat anyways. All right, so let's go to the mobilization and force generation efforts, which is the Russian military the Russian military changes per units on what they're sending into Ukraine. Regional officials are failing to make promised payments to a volunteer battalion. The Russian liberal online outlet Dozd reported on August 1st that 40 service members of the Shavash Atal volunteer battalion have yet to receive payments for their enlistment and training prior to deployment to Ukraine. Weird. It's almost like I said that. I think I specifically said that they weren't going to get paid. Recruits sent a written appeal to the Russian Communist Party parliamentarian Yuri Sayahev, who released an interview with one of the service members stating that the battalion will deploy to Ukraine in the coming days. Shavastia Press Service had reported on July 11th that volunteers would receive 200,000 rubles, about $3,100 upon enlisting, and daily allowances of 2,000 rubles, approximately $30. Scooter with a big $20 super chat. Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much. Russian forces continue to face desertion and morale problems. Help! The Ukrainian main military intelligence director reported on July 31st that 200 Marines of the Russian 810th Guards Naval Infantry Brigade refused to return to war in Ukraine. Help! The GUI representative Vadim Skibitsky stated that his refusal to return delayed the reconstitution of the brigade's battalion tactical group. Skibitsky also stated that the combat potential of this battalion tactical group and the entire brigade will suffer. Help! This guy believes... So, Speedy, since you are continuously a Russian, like you perpetuate Russian nonsense on a nightly basis, this is all coming from Russia's Telegram channels. So, it's not me repeating it. It's the pro-Russian mill bloggers, and they're saying this. Okay? That they're saying this. There's nothing. Activity in Russian occupied areas. So that's the Russian military suffering, hurt, going AWOL. 200 Marines, because I know damn well Marine of the any Marine in the United States would do that. So help, 200 of them refusing to return. They're not getting paid. Activity in Russian occupied areas. So this is the annexation plans. Russian occupation officials are enhancing propaganda efforts and collaborator recruitment efforts to further facade of a popular campaign for Russian annexation into occupied Ukrainian territory. So this is in reference to the cities that Russia is going to be hosting this fake referendum like they did in Crimea to annex cities that Russia has taken into the Russian Federation. So like their passportification, forcing them to take their payments in rubles, their pensions in rubles, the tenants or the landlords of tenants and apartments are being forced to give personal information of their tenants to the occupation authorities. It's a mess. So that's what we're talking about with the annexation goals, right? So moving these cities or Russia taking these cities and annexing them into the Russian Federation. The Russian Zaporizhzhia Occupation Administration head Yevgeny Belitsky announced the establishment of ZA TV, a new information flagship regional television channel for Zaporizhzhia Oblast, on August 1st. Belitsky thanked local and Russian specialists for their support in establishing the station and explaining the situation to Zaporizhzhia Oblast residents. Belitsky delivered his remarks in front of a banner reading Melitopol, Russia. So like Melitopol is Russia, essentially. Ukraine's main military intelligence directorate reported on August 1st that Russian occupation officials opened a recruitment center in Berdyansk in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast to recruit and pay collaborators to participate in pro-Russia demonstrations. Paid actors. Russia literally does that. All the garbage that we have in our country talking about paid actors and shit, it's all Russia. They literally do that. Like not conspiratorially, like, oh, I bet you there's some people getting paid to go out and protest. No, Russia does this. Like, actually. The GUI reported that occupation authorities are struggling to find sufficient numbers of Ukrainians willing to participate in such activities, even when offered monetary and aid incentives, and that occupation authorities are continuing to link the provision of humanitarian aid to cooperation with occupation forces, including participation in pro-Russian demonstrations. The GUI reported that the Kremlin sent Russian public relations specialists to Melitopol and Zaporizhzhia Oblast to foment pro-Russian protests and the creation of Russian propaganda. Members of the Russian President Vladimir Putin's United Russian Party are staffing many humanitarian aid distribution stations and are likely participating in and coordinating the sham protests. The Russian tying of humanitarian aid to pro-Kremlin demonstrations and the prioritization of propaganda before electricity both demonstrate that Russian information space and preparing for sham referenda than providing basic services in... Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. No links on... What is... No. No. A Rumble link? Really? If you're sending a Rumble link to the chat, I'm not pulling that up. The Russian Kherson Occupation Administration head Kirill Strumiashnov shared a video on July 31st that depicted a United Russia representative promising to solve the concerns of a Kherson residents. Strumiashnov said that the video demonstrated that the people of Kherson are ready to become one big family in Russia. The increasing prevalence of United Russia members in occupied Ukrainian territories suggests that the Kremlin is focused on propaganda production, not just to deter Ukrainian resistance, but also to placate the domestic Russian audience with falsified, feel-good stories about Russian providing aid to liberated Ukrainians who seek to join Russia. The Security Service of Ukraine reported on August 1st that the Russian-sponsored organization Volunteers for Russia will take the lead on organizing the sham annexation referendum in occupied Kherson Oblast under the supervision of Russian forces. The SBU reported that the group plans to disperse throughout the Oblast to imitate local support for the occupiers and to create staged stories for Russian television audiences. The SBU reported that Russian collaborators are telling their handlers that Kherson residents are uncooperative and believe that Ukrainian forces will soon liberate the oblast. Yep. Severally, Russian occupation forces are likely increasing their efforts to deter and suppress partisan movements in occupied Ukrainian territories as popular demonstrations and partisan attacks on Russian officials, Ukrainian collaborators, and militarily valuable targets continue. A partisan IED targeted the car of a Ukrainian collaborator and local mobster Vitaly Efmenko in Kakhovka, Kherson Oblast on July 30th, landing him in the hospital. Partisans also reportedly set fire to a factory in Mariupol on July 31st. So these are anti-Russia, pro-Ukrainian partisans that are taking action and protesting through force. The advisor of the Ukrainian mayor of Melitopol, Petro Andriuchenko, claimed on August 1st that Mariupol residents protested against occupation efforts to demolish damaged homes in the city, and that Russian forces had to intervene to protect Russian occupation mayor of Mariupol, Konstantin Ivanchenko, from angry protesters. Andriuchenko claimed that Ivanchenko's failures to pacify the remaining population are driving rifts in the occupation administration and could lead to Ivanchenko's ouster. Ivanchenko and other occupation authorities are likely incentivized to authorize increasingly draconian measures to repress partisan and anti-Russia activity to defend their positions. The Ukrainian Resistance Center reported on August 1st that occupation forces are intensifying repressive actions in response to an increase in successful partisan activities. So these protests and protesting the Russian occupation are being successful. They're hitting them with IEDs. They're taking out these sham leaders. They're taking them out. The actions include wearing civilian clothes and driving cars with Ukrainian plates during raids, using drones to monitor mass gathering places like markets and public squares, and evicting Ukrainians from areas surrounding possible partisan targets. The center reported that Russian forces evicted all residents who lived within a 400-meter radius of the railway station in Olenivka in the Kherson Oblast, so locals could not inform partisans of shipment of military equipment. So you have like some espionage and like all types of shit going on in the southern axis. There's no way the Russians are going to annex the southern axis or anything by September 11th. They might get Lugansk and maybe a couple of the cities in the east that are in the far east, close to the Russian border in the Donbas. They know what they're not getting the southern. They're not getting these cities in the southern axis. The center also reported that Russian occupation forces are intensifying checks of residents' homes, smartphones, computers, and personal documents, and are searching houses to seize any weaponry. Intensifying measures are likely having limited effects due to popular support for partisan activities. Lugansk is not annexed. Lugansk has their independence that Vladimir Putin told them that they have. They're not annexed yet. What do you know, Speedy? What do you know? 0 for 1 there. Anyways, key takeaways. Key takeaways from everything I just wrote before we go into the video breakdown, going into the combat footage and all of the news stories and clips that have come out within the last 24 hours. Russian forces were responsible for the July 28th attack on the Olenivka prison that killed 53 Ukrainian POWs. 2 anonymous U.S. officials confirmed that there is no evidence that Ukrainian forces used US-provided HIMARS, some of the only munitions that Ukraine has that are precise enough to do the kind of limited damage seen in satellite and other imagery to strike the prison. Russian forces are transferring elements of the Eastern Military District from Slovyansk area to support defensive positions along the southern axis. Russian forces did not conduct any offensive operations north of Slovyansk or around Siversk. Russian forces conducted unsuccessful ground assaults on settlements south and southeast of Bakhmut. Russian proxy authorities did not claim any territorial gains near Avdiivka as Russian forces launched unsuccessful ground assaults on Avdiivka and Pisky. Russian regional officials are reportedly failing to provide promised payments to the Atoll Volunteer Battalion of the Republic of Shuvanisha. There it is, Shuvanisha. Russia is increasingly bringing in other ethnicities in their country to fight for the ethnic Russian war in the east that Russia said, right? Russia's going to go help the ethnic Russians in the east, so they're recruiting all non-ethnic Russians to go fight the war for them. Like this, just clowns. Russian occupation forces are likely increasing efforts to deter and suppress partisan movements in occupied territories as partisan attacks on Russian officials and Ukrainian collaborators continue. And that's your map update. So continued protesting, continued successful partisan movements in the south as Russia's trying to quickly button that up and shut it down. They're failing to shut it down. That's your update. That's your map update. Now let's get into all of the latest video clips and extra news stories. Check into the stream if you haven't. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Comment where you're watching from. Welcome to Mercado Media. I need something to drink after that. And I need to spark one up. This is a 420 friendly stream too, by the way. We got 420 friendly news coverage over here on Mercado Media since I started, which was 2 years ago. So let's go to NPR, quickly get some of the newsy stories coming out of Ukraine. Let me fix this. This is bugging me. The alert box is not in the right spot. I need to go up there now. We're going to be going into the newsy-ish updates before we get the video clips. So really quick, we got London, Ontario. It's good to have you. Richmond, Illinois. Good to see you. Hello from West Virginia. How you doing, West Virginia? Syracuse, New York. Another thing, y'all, is consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel and supporter of the Facebook page. This month I'm going to be starting to do member discussions after the streams, likely on not this Monday because it's too short a notice, but I'll give you guys another week. So next Monday after the stream on Mondays, I'm bringing back Member Mondays, which is supporters on Facebook too. If you have the badge, you'll be included in that. I'll send a multi-stream, but we're going to be doing a member discussion stream afterwards, and we'll talk about it and have more of a relaxed stream with just the members and whatnot. So consider becoming a member and a supporter. I'm going to be bringing those back on Monday nights after the streams. So reacting to some of the latest news stories coming out. What to watch this week. Some of the important events. This is from NPR News. So Monday, a ship loaded with Ukrainian grain left Odessa for the first time since the war began. There are hopes that it will still be the first of many resuming the country's exports. So we had a ship leaving I'm going to pull that up first for our first video update of the grain leaving. And we do get to the combat videos and clips. So if you're here waiting to see those and to see the latest war videos. We'll get to that, but I also include newsy updates on this channel as well. So this is from Global News. Russia-Ukraine conflict. First shipment of Ukrainian grain since Russian invasion departs from Odessa.
First ship carrying Ukrainian grain set off from the port of Odessa today. The ship set sail under an internationally brokered deal that's expected to release large stores of Ukrainian crops to foreign markets and ease a growing hunger crisis. According to the United Nations, the ship is carrying over 26,000 tons of corn. The ship is expected to reach Istanbul on Tuesday, where it will be inspected before being allowed to proceed to Lebanon. Russia and Ukraine signed agreements with Turkey and the UN, clearing the way for Ukraine to export 22 million tons of grain and other agricultural goods that has been stuck in Black Sea ports because of Russia's invasion.
كان شعور جيد. حسيت انه صرنا احرار، كنا محجوزين لان فتره كبيره. شعور لا يوصف هيك اني حارجع على بلدي بعد معانينا من الحصار والخطر اللي كان علينا كل يوم بسبب يعني القصف، خاصه اذا سمعت من كذا يوم، يعني من كم يوم تقريبا صار في قصف صاروخي على المرفأ.
No, there's no okay. We have okay. So
بدنا لما نوصل على اسطنبول بكره ان شاء الله.
Yo, chatters, just do the best you can to respond to those that are just lost and try to just correct them in the chat.
هناخد فيول ومازوت يعني لمحركات السفينه مشان تكمل ابحارها للرحله للمرفأ الجاي، وبعض الاصلاحات الروتينيه يعني البسيطه اللي بنعملها لما بتوقف اي باخره. وبعدين بدنا نروح على ميناء تركيا، طبعا بدها تحدد السلطات الموانئ التركيه للتفتيش. بعدين بدنا نروح على المرفأ اللي حتفضي فيه الباخره بطرابلس.
So yeah, one of the crew members giving an interview here aboard the ship that's providing the first export of Ukrainian grain and goods since the Russians have taken the Black Sea. Okay, so that's what's going on there. What else we got? The trial of WNBA star Brittany Griner continued on Tuesday. Wednesday, so these are some of the things that we have to watch for this week, and that's if there isn't any war surprises, like in terms of territory gains, or if there's successful Ukrainian counteroffensives, or if like last week the Russians took the Vuhledar power plant south of Bakhmut. Like important war news. These are important just news stories and happenings that are going to be things that we look out for. So ASEAN led meetings to get underway in Cambodia, and Ukraine will be on the agenda. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will be among top diplomats gathering there. Oh, big travel plans for Cambodia for our Secretary of State. Going to travel to Cambodia and the Philippines, South Africa, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Rwanda from the 2nd to the 11th. That's a pretty big trip. Secretary Blinken will be the first to travel to Phnom Penh, which is in Cambodia, August 3 to 5th, to participate in the US ASEAN ministerial meeting, the East Asia Summit Foreign Ministers Meeting, and the ASEAN Regional Forum. They're going to have talks about cooperation on energy, trade, investment, and our advanced shared domestic values, including the addressing the war in Ukraine. So that's happening this week. We'll provide updates on that, and I'll do like a summary, giving like an easier understanding of what the hell that all means. So that's coming up on Wednesday. Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan are expected to meet in Russia. Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Putin are going to meet again. August 5th, Kremlin confirms. Last time Erdogan and Vladimir Putin met was in Tehran on the sidelines. And Erdogan made him wait. Erdogan made Putin stand there looking silly. Well, we waited on him. Kremlin has confirmed that the talks between Russian President Putin and Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan will take place in Sochi on August 5th. Yes, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said in response to a question by TASS as to whether such a meeting is planned. Well, that means maybe there isn't a meeting. Earlier on Tuesday, the administration of the Turkish leader said that Erdogan was planning to come to Sochi on August 5th on a one-day visit for a meeting with Putin. According to Ankara, it is planned to discuss bilateral and regional issues. The last time Erdogan and Putin met was in Tehran on the sidelines of an Astana format summit. Erdogan. Sorry, it's my speech impediment. I gotta work on words. I used to stutter when I was a child. I had stuttering. I'm sure y'all can tell sometimes. I had to work through that. Over recent months, two leaders repeatedly held phone conversations. The last time Erdogan visited Russia was last September when he also met with Putin in Sochi. So you have these two that are planning to meet later in the week. What happened last week? So I had some viewers that I had seen coming on the stream said, hey, I haven't tuned in a while. I haven't been around. So this is what you've missed. Russia's Gazprom said it would reduce the amount of gas it sends through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline to 20% of capacity. On the same day, Russia announced it would quit taking part in the International Space Station after 2024. So Russia is out of the space station. European Union energy ministers agreed to an emergency deal to ration natural gas to help EU countries to get through the coming winter. On the 27th, on the same day that Brittany Griner's trial continued in Moscow, the U.S. proposed prisoner swap in which Moscow would free Griner and Paul Whelan, a former U.S. Marine imprisoned in Russia. They had exchanged for the imprisoned Russian arms dealer and terrorist Viktor Bout. I don't know about that trade. July 28th, Russian missile strikes targeted Ukraine's Kyiv and Chernihiv regions. On the same day that Ukrainian authorities announced an operation to liberate the occupied region of Kherson in the south. On the 29th, Ukraine and Russia blamed one another for shelling that killed dozens of Ukrainian prisoners of war in eastern Ukraine. Also, Blinken spoke with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for the first time since the war began, urging Russia to accept the proposed aim at bringing home Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan. Blinken also pressed Russia on allowing Ukrainian grain passports. July 30th, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced mandatory evacuation of people in the eastern Donetsk region. Also, Gazprom cut off gas shipments to Latvia. Russia demands payment in rubles and has already stopped gas shipments to other EU countries after their refusal to do so. On July 31st, marking Russia's Navy Day, President Vladimir Putin approved a new naval doctrine highlighting the U.S. and NATO as some of the biggest threats to Russia. We had a $5 super chat from Otis. Hey, everyone, long live Lil Loaded Snack Gang. Let's go. Thank you so much, Otis, for the $5 super chat. So that's some of the latest what's going on this week, what happened last week. Credit to NPR News for that update. Thank you, NPR, for that. So we got the grain update. So this is from August 1st. Ukraine attacks a Russian Black Sea Fleet headquarters. Ukrainian forces struck the headquarters of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, and Russian held Sevastopol on early Monday. So where is Sevastopol? Let's pull that up on the map. So this was today in Ukraine. Sevastopol is in the Crimean Peninsula. Let's see that. Ukraine striking targets in the Crimean Peninsula.
Ukrainian forces struck the headquarters of Russia's Black Sea Fleet in Russian-held Sevastopol early on Sunday. That's according to the Crimean port city's governor. Sevastopol governor Mikhail Razvozhayev told Reuters 6 people were wounded in the attack when what was presumed to be a drone flew into the courtyard of the headquarters. Heavy Russian strikes also hit the southern Ukrainian port city of Mykolaiv overnight and early on Sunday, killing the owner of one of the country's largest grain-producing and exporting companies, according to the local governor. Meanwhile, fierce fighting in the eastern Donetsk region continues, and hundreds of thousands of people are still living in combat zones. In a televised address late on Saturday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky ordered the mandatory evacuation of citizens in the area, which Russia seeks to control completely. Swathes of the Donbas were held before the invasion by Russian-backed separatists. The more people leave the Donetsk region now, the fewer people the Russian army will have time to kill, he said, adding that residents who left would be given compensation.
Also, so Ukraine can start moving in and start hammering the Russian territories now with their HIMARS systems and their counteroffensives. So try to get as many civilians out as possible before Ukraine starts hitting it for real. Because they're going to.
And Russia have traded accusations in recent days over a missile strike or explosion early on Friday that appeared to have killed dozens of Ukrainian prisoners of war in the frontline town of Olenivka, held by Moscow. Reuters journalists confirmed some of the deaths at the prison, but could not immediately verify the differing versions of events.
Okay, sorry, there's graphic.
Leave the Donetsk.
So I'm not gonna. We've seen that now. We saw that a couple of days ago. It just showed there's just a lot of charred and dead bodies in there. So I'm just gonna skip through that part. Okay, this is just after that.
Targeting civilians and war crimes during the invasion, which it calls a special military operation.
Russia's special military operation. So here's from Sky News talking about Putin's plans to deploy new hypersonic cruise missiles. This is from July 31st. This is from yesterday, but I wasn't live yesterday. So some of these reports and videos will be just touched from yesterday because, again, I wasn't live. Thank you, S. Moore, for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much for doing so. So this is, again, from Sky News talking about Putin's new hypersonic cruise missiles that Russia plans to send to Ukraine.
I've just been watching.
Oh, hold on. $50 super chat from Justice Ryan. Even though there are 16 HIMARS in Ukraine now, the experts are saying in order to be effective, Ukraine will need 50 to 100 HIMARS to report to the border. What's your opinion? I agree. To move further to the east, they will need that many. Like if they want to start actually taking back territory in the eastern region of Ukraine and advance beyond Kherson, because right now, after they take back Kherson, that's gonna be a big push for the Ukrainian military, right? That's gonna be a big push to take back Kherson, even though they're gearing up for it. They've been doing it. They're softening some of the bridges so that Russia can't get up there and reinforce their troops. But it's gonna wipe out a lot of the Ukrainian forces on this counteroffensive. They're gonna have to regroup and resupply and get new fresh troops to the front lines and get new equipment. So having 50 to 100, yes, like they'd be able to easily start advancing. Let's pull up the map so I'm not just talking to you. They'd be easier to advance beyond the city of Kherson. So this is what I believe the Ukrainians will take back in this counteroffensive when they take Kherson back with the blue. Thank you again for the $50 super chat. So this is the Dnipro River. Ukraine's going to take back everything to the north of it. This whole pocket north. If the Ukrainians had 50 to, they did that with 12. They're doing this with 12 HIMARS systems. They just got 4 more today, bringing their total to 16. If they got 50 to 100 of them, they'd be able to advance. That would, I don't even have the words for what that would do. They've done this much and Russia just doesn't even know what to do with 12 in the whole country. 12. Now they have 16. And we'll see what they do with 16 of them now that 4 more have arrived today. But if they had 50 to 100 of them, 100%, they'd be able to, I would be able to more comfortably say, yeah, they could advance a little bit further into like Melitopol, but even like the city is like Melitopol and Berdyansk, where they're holding conscription offices. There's Molotov cocktails are going into the conscription offices in Berdyansk. I'd have more confidence being able to tell y'all I have more confidence in Ukraine's ability to start sweeping eastward along the southern axis. But right now, with only 16 HIMARS, with 12 HIMARS systems alone, they're tired. 4 more will help, but the Ukrainian forces will be tired after taking back this portion. It just is what it is. They'll be tired and they'll have to regroup, and it'll take significant time for them to think about advancing even further along this axis. Don't expect Ukraine to just start sweeping across to the west. It's not going to happen. But if they were to have 50 to 100 HIMARS systems, absolutely. I would have way more confidence in saying Ukraine has a exponentially higher chance, and I'd be more confident in that assessment if they had 50 to 100 HIMARS in taking back further cities along the southern axis. And that would significantly help. I mean, they'd be able to take Izium back quickly, and the Ukrainian counteroffensives in this eastern pocket have been successful as of lately. around some of these villages. I'm going to zoom in even further. Here's Dubrovnik, which I talk about constantly. That's the latest city or village that Ukraine has taken back in the Izium area. Every single advance from the Russian military onto Slovyansk has failed in the last 2 months, and that's with the addition of the 2 HIMARS. Even before Ukraine got the HIMARS and the 777s, the Russians were failing to advance on Slovyansk. Now they have the 777s and the HIMARS systems. They've been failing extra hard, and if they had 50 to 100, they'd be able to move their troops in an advance and a counteroffensive from this pocket as well, because they'd have the support from those HIMARS systems and the Russian counter missile batteries, or the anti-air systems that already can't keep up with the 12 that they've had over there. Unimaginable. I'm sure Ukraine, if they had 50 to 100 of them, would wipe out all of Russia's anti-air that is along the front, or like that. They'd have enough to distract the anti-air with missiles, so that way the anti-air maybe hits a HIMARS, which they don't, but maybe, whatever, say Russia develops them, but they'd have enough to like distract the anti-air systems, and the anti-air takes it out, and bam, here comes another one at the target after Russia takes it out with their anti-air, which they haven't been doing. But just if they did have an anti-air system, or if some of these cruise missiles start taking out the HIMARS system, they have no answer for the HIMARS. So in conclusion, if they had 50 to 100, that would give Ukraine the complete upper hand in taking back villages and cities. When that happens, if that happens, we'll be seeing some significant changes on the grounds. We'll see what happens with just these 16 systems, though. They've done a lot with 12. We have a $6.99 super chat from Steve and a $5 super chat from Diana. Andrew, you have the best report on this war. Thank you, Diana. And then Otis with another $2 super chat. I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the $50 super chat. I would have way more confidence, and the fact of what they've done with the 12 that they've had. If they had 50 to 100, I mean, common sense. All right, so this is back now to Putin and Russia with their hypersonic cruise missiles that they plan to send to Ukraine.
The parade go past. It's finished now. All the people are going back. Vladimir Putin left from the Peter and Paul fortress over there and went up to the center of his hometown, as you say, gave a speech, didn't actually mention Ukraine directly, but talked about how the Navy would soon be in possession of the Zircon hypersonic missile, which Russia has been developing for quite some time. And he talked about how there was no class of missile quite like it. It can go 9 times the speed of sound, and is soon to be in deployment with the Russian naval forces to be used, he said, as Russia sees fit to protect.
Julie, we hate the Kremlin. We don't hate the Russian. We don't hate like Russian people, or like Russia. Like Russia was on its way to becoming in the West. That would have been lit. It would have been awesome to be able to go to Russia. Honestly, I'd love to see like St. Petersburg or some of the history there, because they do have some rich history. But the Kremlin makes it a shitty spot to go, or a shitty place. They lie about everything, and they don't tell a single truth, especially in regards to this war. So it's caused a lot of people to hate the Kremlin, rightfully so. I don't think that's even up for debate.
Its sovereignty and freedom, and I've just been
Our hate here is focused on the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin.
To quite a lot of people here in what is a very patriotic crowd, all about the notion that what Russia is doing now is protecting its sovereignty and freedom against a hostile West, essentially America and the UK getting it in the neck from a lot of the people here who don't see Ukraine as their enemy at all. They say it's you who are creating this rift between brother nations. It is a moment on Navy Day to think about the contribution of Russia's Navy to the situation in Ukraine. When you look at the fact that the Black Sea Fleet against a Ukrainian Navy that doesn't really have much capabilities, they've been blocked in their ports, their warships are not operational, and yet the Ukrainians did manage to take down Russia's flagship warship, the Moskva, and another number of its other patrol boats. But what?
Yep, Ukraine's been able to take out Russia's navy while having their own, not even having a navy in the Black Sea. They've been hitting them with cruise missiles or some of their other precision guided missiles. Like Ukraine's been taking them out.
What the Black Sea Fleet has been very effective in doing, of course, is blockading Ukraine economically, stopping the grain from leaving 5 Ukrainian ports, but particularly Odessa. And despite the fact that that deal was struck in Istanbul a little over a week ago, we still have yet to see a single boat leave those ports laden with grain, because I think of the risk of underwriting any of those ships as they go through the Black Sea, which is heavily mined, and the risk, given the fact that Russia bombed the port of Odessa the very next day after that deal was done, that they are not...
Did we forget about... Did anyone forget that? Russia literally hitting Odessa the day after they signed the deal. So it's great that they were able to get an export out today. I'm concerned about the future of those ships leaving the port, though. I'm concerned. I'm glad they were able to get one today. So now we're going to get to some combat clips now. Shoot and scoot. Ukrainian Grad rocket team aim to hit hard and move fast. So here's a Ukrainian Grad rocket team. Someone asked what strain I'm smoking on. It is Banana Runts for the Energize. Later on, it's Granddaddy Perp during our video game streams. Sorry about that. That is ridiculously loud. Turn that down some. There we go.
По российским целям украинская артиллерия работает короткими залпами. После каждого идет сверка координат и еще один залп. Расчет Града работает быстро.
Shoot, move, and communicate.
На подумать нет.
Hey, thanks Elizabeth for those 100 stars.
Огонь. Огонь. На самом деле это финальная часть материала, ведь все началось в тихой лесопосадке.
Страшно, але ж що не воювати. У нас виручає те, що ми дуже висока мобільність.
Сегодня у Вовы обычный рабочий день, и он загружает пакет градов. Каждая ракета 66 килограммов.
Ну, в основному на цьому напрямку вони завжди хочуть іти в наступ. Не завжди це виходить. Навіть якщо там в їх щось виходить, але це з дуже великими втратами.
По старой традиции каждую градину подписывают. Вот за Бородянку, вот за Мариуполь. Тем временем расчет реактивщика Вовы получил задание. Российская пехота выдвинулась вперед.
Скільки машина може вижати, стільки вижимає. Взагалі в нас моральний стан вже налаштований. Підніміть нас 3 часа ночі, ми встанемо, поїдемо, відпрацюємо по цілі. На нас напали повномасштабною війною, і для нас вже не потрібен настрой. Ми знаємо, що потрібно їх знищувати.
Literally, Ukraine doesn't need addition. Like, that's why Russia's morale is just sucks, because they have no will to fight. It's all the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin's garbage and lies and reason and just complete bullshit reasoning for invasion in general. And that's why the Russian military is seeking far and wide for conscripts to join their battalions to help fight, because again, which I went over in the report early in the stream, 200 Marines of the Russian military of the 810th Naval Brigade are fucking AWOL right now. Sorry for my language. I served in the military, so I got a mouth sometimes. They're AWOL right now. That's not good for the Russians. The Ukrainians, on the other hand, are defending their homeland. That is the motivation. There is nothing. They don't need anything else. They either defend their land or die doing so. There's no other option for them. So the motivation is just wake up for the Ukrainians. They don't need to find it elsewhere. They don't need propaganda. They don't need garbage to search deep within to fight for their country, because they're getting invaded. Russia's taking cities. So it's night and day in terms of morale and motivation. That's why Ukraine's winning.
Щоб не було великої розсіяності. Не переводимо напросто снаряди, стріляємо 3 пристрілочних, 7 по цілі.
А скільки часу, щоб відійти?
Максимально швидко.
Максимально швидко?
Відбувається контрбатарейна боротьба.
How long has Russia been influencing? I'd say at least in the information age, in this social media age, since like 2014, when Ukraine was trying to join the European Union. Russia started at that point, leading up to our 2016 election.
Можуть накрити. Треба робити все дуже швидко і точно.
Probably more in other, probably longer than that in other realms, but at least in like this social media age we're in now and shit, I'd say that's when it started.
Так, 1 місяць. Ну, на самі пологи я не встиг, але я встиг на випуску. Ти звісно, що
We got both far left and far right people
тільки за себе думати.
simping for Vladimir Putin, dude. It's wild.
Вдома дружина, син. Так само треба трохи якось берегтися. Скучаю, хочеться дивитися, як син росте, розвивається, поки це все не закінчиться. Краще трошки потерпіти, але щоб потім не прийшлося бігати по волинських лісах, краще вже тут.
Okay, so that's Shoot and Scoot from the Ukrainian Grad missile teams. Ukrainian Grad rocket teams hit hard and move fast. Shoot, move, and communicate. Thank you, $10 super chat from Elizabeth. Thank you so much for that. All right, so now we're going to go to the Ukraine war timeline from Rob Lee, just showing the latest video clips coming out, the newest, the latest and greatest from the war in Ukraine. Video from a Russian BTR on fire. So I got a couple clips from the 31st, and then all of the clips are going to be from today on August 1st. So here's a Russian BTR on fire from a UAV. This was taken on the 31st. Common sight. They hide their vehicles in that little tree line in between the roadways. This is a common place the Russians just put their vehicles, and the Ukrainians shell them in a little pocket of tree line. Here you got the footage from the strike on the Russia's Black Sea Fleet's headquarters. So we had seen the on-the-ground little update about the strike on the headquarters in Sevastopol. That happened on July 31st in the morning. But here's a distance shot of it. Again, this is in the Crimean Peninsula. So seeing Ukraine strike Russian targets in Russian territory now. Because again, Crimea was annexed. They had a sham referendum there. Just like they're planning to do in some of the southern cities in the southern axis of Ukraine. So, not the preferred method for clearing anti-personnel mines. Let's see what this is. Oh shit, scared the shit out of me. Boy, what the hell no, what are you doing? What? I didn't think that was gonna happen. Again, I blind react to these, y'all. I try to save the timeline and I react to them with you during the live stream. So, I was not ready for that. What are you doing?
Show them.
Goodness. Do the tire at it. One more time. Hell no. Look how close he is, too. Sir. No. Look at. Nope. Nope. That's a nope from me. Not doing that. Another example. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Случайно нашли лепесток.
Oh my god. What are they doing?
А что делать, если вы шли по лесу и нечаянно нашли лепесток?
Golly, what a Darwin Award recipients. A better method. Tank runs it over. There you go. There you go. Run over a mine. Oh, man. The tank's competing for the Darwin Awards too. T-72s are probably leading the way, honestly. Here's another photo of the Admiral Kuchyanov on the dry dock. Admiral Kuchyanov getting some repairs. There's a big satellite image of it. And we saw that example. Here you got a photo of a Russian T-72B3 and a T-80BV tank. With the the black, the yellow, and the white flag. I need to verify this, and I'll have it for the next stream. But I believe that is the there's a nationalist part, like a nationalist group in Russia now. Like they're far right, and they're actually Nazis. They're far right Nazis, and that this is their flag. I have to confirm that, but that looks exactly from where I've seen it. I think Vox did a report in Russia. They sent one of their reporters to St. Petersburg. I need to look it up now. Remind me in the Discord server, and I'll have that video for tomorrow. Photo of servicemen for the Pacific Fleet's 40th Naval Infantry Brigade from the Rotstrom channel. The Rotstrom, that's one of the Russian mill blogger channels. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Otis. And you got photo of a captain of the 2nd rank, so killed on a attack boat in Mariupol. It shows some of the Russian service members passing away in Ukraine. Video of a Ukrainian Buk M1 air defense system reportedly shooting down a Russian cartograph UAV. Look at the sunflowers. Look at the sunflowers we have here. Look at the sunflowers they got out there, y'all. Sunflowers for Ukraine in the chat. One more time. So, again, description. This is a Ukrainian Buk M1 air defense system. So this is what intercepts the Russian artillery from reaching civilian populaces and killing a bunch of civilians. So this is a crucial system for the Ukrainians to have. They shot down a cartograph UAV. Yeah, Richard, tell that to Russia. Photos of the UAV being shot down. Tell that to Russia in one of their sham reasonings for invasion. Richard. you just argued the entire point against Putin's garbage reasoning, or one of them, for invasion. Here's the UAV that was shot down. Pictures. Got video from Ukraine's 79th Air Assault Brigade of captured Russian 2S9 Nona S and a Nona SVK 120mm mortars firing on Russian positions. The video shows a strike on a Russian Bat-2 armored track layer. So you got mortars firing on Russian positions and a strike on a Russian Bat-2 armored truck layer.
Особливості роботи, вона
Alright, turn it up now. Music's over.
маневрена, вона швидка, швидко приходить до бою. Ну, основна задача, в першу чергу, це знищення противника. Як живої сили, так і ворожої техніки.
Хочу сказати, що машина дуже добра, дуже високоточна, дуже маневрена. Був знищений один танк, було знищено 3 тигри, одна БМП. Ну, ця машина працює дуже добре. Бійці знищили російську батарею 2С9.
Були стрільби вночі. Також підпалили три ворожої техніки. Там були 2 Урали, 1 БТР. Спрацювали дуже швидко. По мінімуму витратили снарядів.
Спасибі оркам за цю машину. Тепер ми на цій машині б'ємо їх їхньою ж зброєю.
Anybody, a veteran in the chat, ever drive a track vehicle? I almost felt the vibration sitting here. Jay, you drove a Bradley? One more time.
Вночі 3 ворожої техніки.
Hear that
Там
sound.
були 2 Урали, 1 БТР. Спрацювали дуже швидко. По мінімуму витратили снарядів.
Спасибі оркам.
Do that one more time. Oh yeah. So again, that's a Russian. The video shows a strike on a BA-2 armored track layer. What's that? What's the vehicle that they have in the video? It looks old. Hey, what up, CD? How you doing? So we got the geolocation. This is in Lehman. Oh wow. So we got evidence. Here's a geolocation. Let's go to our maps from the video. So if you have Ukrainian military posting videos in this location, how close is that? Wow. Oh wow. So that's right outside of Lehman. That's to the northeast of Slovyansk. Let's go to our war map then. So that means, so let's try to figure out where that is exactly on our war map. North of the T0514 highway. Okay, so it's over here quick. And it is right here. Here's where the Ukrainians are then. That's a little bit further in from the front line. So memorize that. Quick zoom out. So the Ukrainians then are a little bit further in. A little bit further in towards Lehman, if we were seeing videos, and geolocated inward from the front lines. So that is northeast of Slovyansk, and likely why, if the Ukrainians are that far into this front line here, the Ukrainians are that far in, likely why the defense of Slovyansk to the north and to the northeast have been so successful, and why the Russian military has failed to advance onto Slovyansk for the last few months. It's in the woods near Lehman. Continue on. Video from the Azov SSO of a DJI UAV corrected indirect fire on Russian positions. Such a good song. I hope I don't get copyright now for like that 2 seconds. So again, this is the Azov Battalion. SSO showing their UAV strikes on targets. See, Russia puts their... Not hard to figure out where they're at. Just look in the tree line. They don't change anything. They haven't changed a thing. They haven't changed their battle plan. They haven't changed their tactics. The Russian military still hiding their vehicles in the same exact spots months later. They haven't changed anything. What do you do though? Where do you put your vehicles? You got those 4K UAVs in the sky. Video of a Russian Uran 6 mine clearing UGV in Donetsk. So this is their tactical lawnmower we've seen used a few times. Tactical mine lawnmower. Oh jeez. Wow. I got a better song. So intense. So intense. Oh, jeez. Settle down. Settle down, Lurt Hawker. Lurt Hawker over here. Settle down, bud. The fuck? What, are they just driving it into the park? Gotta go mow the grass in the town square. Hey, thank you, Otis. $5 super chat. I know, Sinan. I got a good hit there. The banana runts got me on that one. I wasn't expecting to see that dude with the backpack like that following it. Wow. How big is that of a target? Seeing this dude with all this equipment. There goes their lawnmower. We've seen that used a few times now. They've used it in Mariupol, or they've said they've used it in Mariupol. That's what look at this dude's sagging. What is that? This dude's a mine clearing dude. What's that about? Hell yeah. About to go clear some mines, fool. About to go clear some mines, fool. Oh, this is so not what it says it is. Alright, we can move on now. Alright, interesting photo from a captured Russian T-72, preferably from a T-72 B3M tank, presumably by Ukraine's 93rd Mechanized Brigade. It looks like an anti-tank weapon. Possibly an ATGM, successfully penetrated the hull where a Konkat 5 era brick should be. And a damaged Russian tank here. Anti-tank guided missiles successfully penetrated the hull. Damn. I took everyone out inside of the tank for doing so. Photo of a captured Russian T-72 B3M tank by Ukraine's 93rd Mechanized Brigade. Presumably, this is the same tank. Got the tow cables attached. The big Bertha cables. Same tank. You got a photo of a captured Russian BTR from a guards unit. Captured, so that's a Rozgavirda BTR from the Russian National Guard in Ukraine control. Hit that like button if y'all haven't. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube and following our page on Facebook. Spam those reactions on the Facebook page. We're live right now on Facebook and YouTube. Video of a Russian Strela 10 air defense system in the Kherson Oblast. They gotta make anything they got look scary in Kherson because the Ukrainians are coming. They gotta make everything look scary over there. They gotta propagandize the shit out of their equipment because the Ukrainians are coming. Is that a piece of trash? Is that garbage on it? What is this? It's literally a trash heap. Literally a trash pile. That was literally a pile of trash just drove onto the screen. Oh my god. Fuck it, we don't even need armor anymore, just hang your trash on the sides. Not gonna last long anyways. Oh, and then we cut to a, okay. Right. Yep. Y'all shot down the UAV with that trash heap. Literally. I'm not making it up. You see the trash on it. Y'all see it.
Командир боевой машины 110 предназначена для прикрытия боевых порядков мотострелковых, танковых полков и всех.
We put out our trash on the tank.
Прикрывает от низколетящих целей воздушного нападения противника, также беспилотников, самолетов, вертолетов. Комплекс малого действия.
Oh my god.
В принципе, он здесь я зарекомендовал, показал с хорошей стороны.
I guess they're making it easier for Ukraine to clean up all the trash from their vehicle if they all just leave it on the vehicle after it's blown up. Less garbage.
Обстановка, в принципе, довольно уже стабильная, спокойная. Противник стоит у себя на своих позициях, на месте.
What is this?
Летательные аппараты беспилотного типа. Мы, конечно, их разбиваем, потому что это очень важно, иначе они будут корректировать артиллерию. По средствам этих беспилотных аппаратов.
Look at his eyes. You can just see in the eyes of this dude. You can tell. Listen, I don't care. Veterans and service members in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. You can look in the eyes of someone and see their confidence level. Like, the military taught me that. I don't know. You can see how, if they're confident, you can see if, like, they've been through some shit. You can see if, like, they're nervous. You can see, like, what's up. This dude is, like...
Иначе они будут корректировать огонь своей артиллерии.
He knows it's game over soon in the south. Their trash bucket. Literally. Trash bucket. Look how this thing's skirted onto look at they did that intense music. They did all that. This Avengers trailer music to this trash pile. I'm sorry. Someone needs to like meme this and like Photoshop an actual garbage can, like an actual trash can, onto the air defense system as it comes onto the screen, and post that to the Discord, and I will put that on the stream tomorrow. That would be hilarious. Just literally Photoshop a giant trash can and then have it skirt into the scene here. Let's continue. All right, Stugna P in the chat. Video of a Stugna P strike on a Russian T-72 tank with overhead camouflage by Ukraine's 35th Separate Marine Brigade. So you got a Stugna P anti-tank guided missile strike on a Russian T-72 tank. T-72 is competing. They're actually, I think the T-72 tank is in the top slot for the Darwin Awards, the 2022 Darwin Awards. The Russian soldier is right behind. Turn it down some. Thank you for all the shares. Thank you, Anne, for the share. So again, this is a Ukrainian strike, Stugna P strike on Russian targets. Specifically a T-72. Here you got video of a Russian DNR, BTR, which again, the DNR is the separatists. So this is the Donetsk People's Republic. This is a BTR vehicle and a DJI UAV corrected artillery fire in the Avdiivka area. So it's a Russian perspective military video here. Z on it. I'm gonna turn off the music. Okay, they got the look at what kind of shit is that?
What the fuck is that?
Excuse me? What is this, a GoPro mounted onto the is that on the cannon? I can't tell you how many, like, listen, my chest hurts even thinking about how many push-ups I would have to be doing if my sergeant, before I became a sergeant, saw that I had put a GoPro on my military vehicle while in theater. They are literally doing it for the videos. It's all propaganda, and it's all being filmed.
Артиллерия союзных войск. Корректировку этой работы производят операторы БЛА. Прямо сейчас происходит корректировка и отработка по целям, а также БТР, на котором мы сюда прибыли.
Yeah, they don't have NCOs, you're right.
Где укрылся противник. Какая задача?
Задача нанести огневое поражение противнику.
Speedy, Ukraine is defending their country. Russia is the aggressor. Russia is the invading force here. Some people just don't have sense. It just is what it is. Sense isn't brought to everyone. Or the gift of sense is not given to everyone. Because Russia is in Ukraine for garbage reasoning and lies. So they need to make videos, including their Chechen TikTok battalion, and especially in the South now. And I'm pointing it out because they're losing, and they continue to make garbage videos of saying this is happening when it's not in certain areas, just doing training videos. So I'm pointing it out to emphasize the fact that most of their shit they're doing is to make little military-like videos to show the Russian people through their media, through the Telegram channels, that Russia is still on this military operation, giving the sense that they're winning when they're not. That is why I'm calling attention to it. Pretty simple. Video of a destroyed Ukrainian T-64. So you got a destroyed Ukrainian T-64 tank.
Украинский танк Т-64. Оторвало нахуй его. БК сдетонировал, лопнул нахуй.
So, destroyed T-64. Destroyed Ukrainian T-64. So 2 weeks ago, the UK announced it was sending an additional 50,000 artillery rounds for Soviet era, presumably 122mm and or 152mm, and the US was sending 36,000 105mm artillery rounds. Secretary has revealed the delivery of the new equipment will significantly step up the UK's support as the country fights to repel Russia's brutal and unjustified invasion. More than 20 M109 155mm self-propelled guns and 36 L119 105mm artillery guns will soon arrive from the United Kingdom, Defense Secretary Ben Wallace announced in an update to Parliament today. Counter-battery radar systems and more than 50,000 rounds of ammunition for Ukraine's existing Soviet-era artillery will also follow, he added. This equipment will bolster the armed forces of Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russia's indiscriminate use of artillery. The United Kingdom, and so a part of this also says, United Kingdom will also send more than 1,600 more anti-tank weapons in the coming, what? Wow, Ukraine's getting new. Let's just go to the post. Okay, so here's the rest of it. Starting here, this is where we left off. The UK will also send more than 1,600 more anti-tank weapons in the coming weeks, along with drones, including hundreds of loitering aerial munitions. So far, 6,900 NLAWs, javelins, brimstone, and other anti-tank weapons, as well as 16,000 artillery rounds, 6 Stormer vehicles fitted with Starstreak anti-air missiles. What's a Stormer vehicle? Oh, looks like we have a YouTube video to look up. What is a Stormer vehicle? Fitted with, whoa, it's a British Stormer. It's an air defense system. Credit to Mastimus, who we've tuned into for war videos before. So this is just giving us a quick look at what the hell a Stormer vehicle is. I don't know what it is. Let's find out. Or anti-air systems.
Bearing 107. Target acquired. Hostile heli hovering.
Target acquired, innit? Engage. Significant. Let's fast forward.
Action, which was kind of missiles, and in particular the Stormer of the CVRT series. Now this is one of those vehicles that always kind of intrigued me in the British Army. It was one that you'd see now and then, but you'd never actually see it in action, which was kind of upsetting because it is really fucking cool looking, and I always wanted to see it shoot down some drone or some, you know, pretend fast air asset. It's just
when was this video made? Oh, 2017. Well, Mastimus, you're gonna get to now.
A cool bit of kit. Unfortunately, the British Army determined that it's not really useful anymore, and honestly, it really pisses me off because of all the CVRT series that I think they should keep in service. This is the one.
Damn. All right, let's hear what this thing's about.
The only vehicle that really isn't required that much and therefore isn't need to be utilized that much, but is to me, an asset to any battle group. Now, they're saying that modernized, fast-moving anti-aircraft systems are a thing of the past. I call bullshit.
God, dude, Mastimus knew. Subscribe to Mastimus. I don't know who this channel is personally. I don't know, but they have been on point. He's been on point with his analysis. This video was made in 2017, well before the invasion, and now look, we're sending all these high mobility moving artillery systems, anti-air systems. Knew what he was talking about.
I think what's happened nowadays in I guess modern military conflict scenarios is we're based everything on this what if fast air comes in and engages us. Well, we're going to have fast air to re-engage and, you know, counter it, and we're going to have, you know, these big old air-to-air missiles with long-range missiles and all this good stuff well before the, you know, battle group gets engaged by fast air. Look, guys, it's just probably not ever going to happen in terms of having full-scale air-to-air combat. What's probably going to happen is some rogue, I don't know, nation or terrorist organization or whatever it may be, may get their hands on some sort of UAV system that is able to overlook or oversee or even potentially in the near
look
future,
at the way that thing stopped.
Do
you see the way that thing stopped? Look at that.
Look or oversee or even potentially in the near future engage certain ground.
Engage. Drive off. Yes. And they're getting these, so the United Kingdom discontinued them, it sounds like, or they're not using them in their military, but they're giving them to Ukraine. By all means.
Assets, and I think a vehicle like this is something that every single battle group / military should have in its arsenal just in case.
Damn.
Now, the British Army does still have a few of these vehicles, I believe, in storage to be able to be utilized in the event of these kind of incidences happening. But I think that we've kind of dropped the ball a little bit, and I think of all these vehicles that have been let go to replace with the Ajax, this particular vehicle system should be the one kept in place. Now,
I'm happy Ukraine's getting it. This is all good news. I haven't heard anything that I'm like, damn, Ukraine's getting this. Everything he said is like Maximus is upset that the United Kingdom isn't using this anymore. So here we go.
What we always do on these videos is do kind of a quick overview and then my personal opinion and review of the vehicle itself, and then potentially its future. Sadly, this vehicle doesn't have much of a future anymore, but let's just go over its history anyway and give you a bit of an insight as to
we're gonna need an update. Maximus needs to do an update after these get there now.
This vehicle is about. So, in 1980, the now BAE Systems Land Systems purchased the manufacturing and marketing rights of the FV-4333 from the British Ministry of Defence. The vehicle was originally designed by the then Military Vehicles and Engineering Establishment, and the first prototype made a brief appearance at the mobility demonstration at Bovington during the 1978 British Army Equipment Exhibition. In June 1981, the now BAE Systems Land Systems, and at the time Alvis, announced that its development of the FV-4333 had been designated the Stormer. The Stormer took advantage of the existing technology of the now BAE Systems Scorpion CVRT family, and we all pretty much well know what that Scorpion series is, from Scimitar to Samson to Samaritan, they're all there. And it's basically a massive family of vehicles, and they were very proven and had a majority of components shared between all of them. The transmission is the same on the CVRT, but with a modified input gear train, with the designation changed from TN15 to T300, and the suspension uses CVRT components, with wheel stations increased either side to 6 per side. The hull of the Stormer is wider than the CVRT, and its original petrol engine was replaced by Cummins or Perkins engines, and the engines were turbocharged.
Damn.
Late in 1981, Malaysia placed an order of 26 Scorpion and 90 vehicles and 25 Storm APCs. Now the vehicle was transferred.
Why did he put this sad music on it too? He knows that the United Kingdom got rid of a good one. Is there just like did he chapter this? This is like a lot. It's a lot of information. I don't know if we need all that. But yeah, what's this about? Most replayed. Okay, here we go. Here's the most replayed section. It's got to be important.
Put into brake, the tracks can actually turn in opposite directions, which gives the perfect 360 pivot point, and it's very tight moving. I mean, it's unreal. It's amazing how tight this thing turns. From the gearbox,
no wonder why this is the most viewed section. I want to know about that. That thing stopped on a dime.
The drive goes to the front sprockets and then to the tracks. Track adjustment is by hydraulic ram and a hand pump, which was never fun when it's pouring down with rain, but it was quite a small track, so track maintenance was actually really nice to do. The company offered the Stormer with a Cummins diesel engine and the David Brown engineered limited T303 automatic transmission. The latter is installed on the Shielder vehicles that were delivered to the British Army. The vehicle commander sits behind the driver and has a number 16.
I wonder which one Ukraine's getting. Are they getting the Cummins engine? What is it? They got the Cummins engine and the David Brown engine in some of them.
On top of the vehicle sits on the right of the vehicle the commander.
How does the United Kingdom's older vehicles have Cummins engines and the the United States Army had Detroit diesels, which had issues, right? I mean, they're mean and lean and good Detroit diesel, you know what I mean? But like they were shit after a while. Going up a hill was rough, and we started to phase into Cat engines. The United States Army and Cat did a contract, and now the engines are Cat engines. But damn, how do they get Cummins engines?
And has a 4-day periscope on the hatch cover. The vehicle uses torsional bar suspension on either side and consists of 6 dual rubber-tired aluminum road wheels with the drive sprocket at the front and the idler at the rear. Tracks are single-pin steel links with rubber bushes and internally mounted rubber pads. Now guys, the tracks on these things were really nice to work with. As I mentioned before, track maintenance really wasn't too difficult on these things. It was really, really nice to have. Early Stormers did not have track return rollers, but the latest versions have 2 per side. The Stormer has an NBC or nuclear, biological and chemical system and air conditioning system in the left side of the hull below the commander station, and can be fitted with
Russia doesn't have air conditioning systems in their vehicles.
With passive night vision.
You know how invaluable just
there
something...
are 2 4-barreled electric
excuse me, that's what I did in the military. I drove vehicles. So even just that luxury and just tapping into the mindset of like a soldier and just having air conditioning, like the morale that gives is so much more significant than if you have to even just run one mission without air conditioning. And in the Middle East, it was hot as hell. So like 136 degrees, we're putting ice cubes in the air conditioning well because it like broke, and we had to have a reservist because that was like the special job in the army. It's the air conditioner job is a reservist job. So reservists get deployed overseas and they get attached to active duty units, and then they're the ones that have to fix the air conditioning. But like after like one mission, you come home from out air AC just like completely soaked, like your whole uniform is just completely soaked. You feel like you've lost 30 pounds and you just like are dead tired because you just did an entire mission without air conditioning. I can't just that alone. And the Russian military and the soldiers out there, not saying I feel bad for them, I'm just tapping into their mindset, and I can understand how their morale is just complete dog shit when they don't have a purpose already. And just like minimal basic needs like that, like having air conditioning in your vehicles, having vehicles that are updated, having vehicles without trash all over them, MREs that are from this now the 2020s at least, from this decade is significant. Having a IFAC and medical supplies to be able to apply combat life-saving skills and other needs is just like Ukraine has those. Russia has to crowdfund those, but it seems that it's just their private military contractors and some of their more privileged units, if you will, that are receiving these conscripts that are coming from all of their desolate random parts of Russia, all of their other ethnic groups that they're sending to go fight. They're not going to have those. They're not going to get those resources. They're going to be cannon fodder.
Naturally operated grenade charges on each side of the vehicle on
so
the
that's
hull.
Enough of that. That's just, it's a lot of information overload if you're interested. So that's what the British Stormer HVM is, from Mastimus. Entered service in 77. It's got a 250 horsepower. It's got a vehicles powered by a Perkins turbocharged diesel engine. Air defense system being sent to Ukraine. Thing looks
kind of intrigued me in the
looks badass, and Mastimus is sad that the United Kingdom discontinued them. So good news for Ukraine. Photo of the DNR Skinchtia rocket launcher from a Krads 260 chassis for two 324mm rockets with a reported max range of 9.6 kilometers. Okay. Max range of 9.6 kilometers on the Kraz 260 chassis. That's a DNR soldier. Here you got an undated video of a Stugna P ATGM strike on a Russian armored column. Stugna P's in the chat, undated video. This looks like an ambush on Russian vehicles.
Выстрел!
Damn. P's in the chat. Boom.
Есть, блядь!
Oh yeah, that was a hit. Yeah. I audibly heard that thing. I audibly heard that hit the first tank. Look at the way their spacing is. Look at the way, I mean, was focused on the Stugna P strike, but just look at how their convoys, what is that?
What the fuck is that?
Look at the way that convoy, like they got a vehicle off to the side, their spacing is all over the place, their lead vehicle is like, what, maybe 20 kilometers ahead? Not even. No, it's ridiculous, I'm big, sorry. Maybe like 20 meters, 25 meters in front of the second vehicle. Which, if you are in the military and you know if you know our tactics, the lead vehicle is 300 meters. The scout vehicle is 300 meters ahead of the rest of the convoy. You have spacing between the vehicles. You don't have whatever the fuck this third vehicle back here is doing. This is just Quick. Or no, Ukraine actually is asking for F-16s. But, I mean, an A-10 would be a quick one. Just one, we wouldn't even waste much ammo on this because the convoy is all up over each other.
Да.
Давай, дед, блядь, не кипишуй, блядь, відмотай той, блядь, кабель ебучий, переходник, блядь.
Да, разъебал нормально.
Бумагу відмотай, блядь, від цього. Правильно, блядь?
Fire and
Только тепер
adjust.
надо ждать других, потому що вони ось два розбитих, походу, стоять уже.
Look at now
Ось
the
вони.
second vehicle is like turning
На
around.
дорозі.
It's just a mess. Yep, second vehicle, excuse me, the third vehicle's bailing. They just like whipped around. Turned
Ось я
around.
оцього ось. Бля.
We're getting ready to fire and adjust. I don't know how quickly that could happen. They hit that first tank, that first vehicle. What a mess for the Russian tactics. They aren't who we thought they were. Video from the Azov SSO showing a UAV dropping munition on a Russian BMP-3. You got a Russian BMP here in the video. Azov battalion video. There's the munition being dropped onto it. Didn't look like it really hit an effective location there. And it looks like the crew bailed already at this point. All the hatches are open. Damn, we just got ambushed by bots. YouTube's got to clean this up. It's not just on my stream. These things pop into every chat now, all over the place. YouTube's got to clean that up, or Google, whatever the hell. Thank you, Ziggy, for joining the channel. Ziggy became a member, everybody. Welcome to the Orc Hunters. Look at all that. Look at all that burned farmland. Okay, so again, that is the Azov SSO showing a UAV dropping munitions on a Russian BMP-3, and then other positions in the wood line. So the main military investigative department of Russia's investigative committee said that a UAV with sub-munitions struck the Black Sea Fleet headquarters yesterday, wounding 6. So this is how you access their Telegram channels, and then I gotta translate. So again, in the Republic of Crimea, a criminal case was initiated on the fact of an explosion in the territory of the headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet. So this is how you get Russian sources confirming Western sources. Like this, you have to go to their Telegram channels and you got to see how they report it, and if it matches up with how the Western sources or Ukraine is posting it, and then if it matches up, like if Russia verifies, like yeah, we got hit. They're gonna twist some of the reasonings, but if they at least verify, like, yeah, we were hit here on this day, and then whatever reason they give is whatever reasoning, whatever. But this is how you find out how they were hit, and it was verified. This is a Russian source, right? Excuse me, a Russian Telegram channel verifying what the Western sources are reporting, not taking the Russian source at face value. A Ukrainian Fury UAV captured by Russian forces. Allegedly. Ukrainian Fury UAV. These are posted to the Telegram channels, the Russian Telegram channels. A video of a loitering munition strike by Ukraine's 28th Mechanized Brigades. This is Ukraine's 28th on a Russian 82mm mortar position. The graphic on the video suggests that it was made by a US-made Phoenix Ghost loitering munition. These Phoenix Ghosts are being used already. We already looked up the videos of what these US-made Phoenix Ghosts are being sent or what they were going to do. Here they are being used. Oh, wow. Hold on. If it's going to, like... Okay. I didn't want to, like... Okay. We're good. I thought we were going to see, like, a loitering munition just, like, land on all those dudes, and I'd have to fast forward through that part. It's looking like that's where the strike's going, though. Dang. Holy. Yeah. Hey, Pinatel became a member. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so did you see, did you see the loitering drone, the Phoenix drone, fly right into the position? I'll fast forward it again. Or excuse me, I'll rewind it and show it one more time. Those are damn precise. That looked like artillery at the end. On a mortar position. So it's a mortar team there. Oops. Alright, so here's the drone in the sky. It's the white speck flying across. I know there's a lot of white specks right now. And it appears at the top of the screen here, where I'm circling with my mouse. And watch it from here. Now it's starting to go down, and it flies right into it. Dang. Those Phoenix Ghost drones that the United States sent to Ukraine. Video from Ukraine's 71st Jaeger Brigade showing artillery strikes on Russian positions. The video shows a Russian BMP-3, a BTR, a tank, and a BMP-2. So again, Ukraine's 71st Jaeger Brigade striking these Russian positions. Oops. Music. I'll be live again with our war update at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. If you're interested in tuning into Mercado Media from here on out for Ukraine war updates and China and Taiwan, which I'll be including. Yes, the Phoenix drone's like an assassin drone or like a kamikaze drone, if you will. Single use, it's meant to just fly it right into your target and blows up. So again, that was Ukraine's 71st Jaeger Brigade artillery strike on Russian positions. Photos of Chinese military equipment traveling through Kazan. Before anyone jumps to conclusions, this is for the annual Army Games tournament that will occur this month. Okay. I'll take that for now. Photos of the Buryat sniper in Ukraine, possibly from the VDV's 11th Air Assault Brigade, with a captured Ukrainian Zabroyar VPR 338 LM rifle. So, a Buryat sniper from the VDV's 11th Air Assault Brigade. Photos for the gram. Here's more videos of the mine clearing lawnmower in the park. Oh god.
Вот ребята сейчас проводят разминирования. Лепестков здесь огромное количество, поэтому надо наступать крайне аккуратно, смотря куда ты наступаешь. Вот. Сейчас скидывают лепестки сверху с торговых точек. И потом вот эта вот машина будет, собственно, их уничтожать. Количество, которое мы сегодня назвали, меня, конечно, поразило. Больше 1000 лепестков раскидано по городу Донецку. Это 1000, которые нашли уже.
Через дорогу надо, вот тут ларек, Макс, лестницу переставить. Через дорогу. Через дорогу, блядь, на ларек говорю.
Okay, you see how that there's already like a space in which the mine roller's already gone over, so it's going back over track that it's already gone through. So that means that after it already rolled through, they put a mine down so it could roll over it again, because it's retracing the same path that it's already been on. It's done circles and everything. You can see it right here. It's done spins, it's done back and forth. Okay, so they got the mine clearing device. They're showcasing this mine clearing device. Yeah, just trash. We've seen it in Mariupol already. We saw it for what it was. You can see that it's already driven on this. It's turned around. It's going exactly on the same path it just came on. And then blows up a mine that's there. Like, what? Okay. Just can't fool me. Photo of a Russian SOF in Ukraine with a PKM and an IP-87 and a low-cut LSH-Z1 Plus helmet. So, Russian Special Forces. The patch looks like it has the SSO emblem in the background. Here you got Russian Spetsnaz in Ukraine. So here's what they look like. With some weapons and optics. That's what the Russian military looks like. Just putting it right into the ground. Yep. For sure, that's the correct way. This is the correct way to hold your rifle. Actually, like lean down too, like put weight on it. Helps. It's like a good rest stand for sure. Do that. Just kidding. Don't do that. Never do that. You'll get lit up from a rifle instructor or anyone near you that has a sense of a rifle. Don't do that. I was kidding. Photo of members of the Baltic Fleet's 561st Naval Reconnaissance Point. So, members of the Baltic Fleet's 561st Naval Reconnaissance Point from 2008. Okay. From 2018. That's irrelevant. Another video from February 24th. The Russians continue to release videos from for the member berries. Remember when we did this? You remember? Remember the operation that we did? That was pretty much just like a Leroy Jenkins moment, because they had no direction and they just ran. I've watched all of these videos, and even though that they're all landing in the same spot and they're like assaulting they're assaulting the airfield. At the time, it was just like they were just doing it. They had no direction. They didn't have any goal to achieve, and that's why the Russians completely got destroyed around Kyiv and around the capital city, and were kicked to the east. Because even in the initial invasion, when they invaded the hostile airport, they're out there like running, just going random places, random. They don't even have any clue of what the hell is going on. Helmet cam footage of a member of the VDV's 45th Spetsnaz Brigade with an AK-12 rifle and an IP-87 optic. We got Andrew Reese. Thank you. Happy birthday, Elizabeth. So again, this is more from the hostile airport seizure from the 24th. They all had their GoPros on, videos ready to go. Okay. Just keep releasing it. Rozgavirda Spetsnaz and Brigade. So this is their Russian National Guard Spetsnaz fighting in Ukraine. You missed the bridge. Ukraine doesn't have many live feeds left. I think there's some live cameras in the Kharkiv Oblast. We done watched all of the live feeds and there isn't anymore. That was the time. They can't have those due to operational security. Photo of Russian Spetsnaz in Ukraine with the Holosun optic. VSSM, a UAV. Excuse me, I think I lost connection there for a second. Sorry about that. And a IP-87. And a quick minor stream glitch there. There's Z-patch. Plus the Russian Federation lines on the helmet. You know it's a Russian troop. With the soft shoes. Nice. And camera. Video reportedly of a Russian BMP-3 targeted by Ukraine's territorial defense forces. Yeah, BMP hit by Ukraine's civilians. That's what the territorial defense forces is. Now, I mean they're war fighters now, but before the territorial defense forces is just civilians that took up arms to join the Ukrainian military. Civilian no more, you're right, Armhammer. Okay, so it just shows it burning. I was expecting to see the strike, but just the vehicle burning, okay? Photo of a destroyed Russian BMP from Ukraine's 35th Marine Brigade. Okay, destroyed BMP, there's a photo. Jeff P, thank you for subscribing to the channel. For subscriptions this stream, we have Jeff P, you got Shane Mercado, thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Rusudan. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Igor. Thank you, Tapan. Thank you, John O. Thank you, Dustin K. Thank you, Najiri Murawa. And M. Rogers. Thank you for all the subscribing. That helps significantly. It's free to do on YouTube, and it helps significantly. Russian military Spetsnaz in Ukraine, so just some more photos. Who's all gonna be tuned in tomorrow night? Again, 8 p.m. for my war coverage. It's a minimal 2 hours. I try to get 2 hours of coverage. We're at 2 hours and 19 minutes. We got more to do. If we have more coverage to do beyond the 2 hours, I will go as long as we need to. Videos are posted afterwards, so if you fall asleep or whatever, you can watch the rest of it on YouTube or Facebook afterwards. Screenshots from a TASS video showing FSB officers searching homes in Kherson. Looking for Ukrainian partisans, collaborators with the Ukrainian protesters. They know the Ukrainian military is coming. And there's the Russian military brutalizing the civilians. That's in Kherson, getting ready for that. They know that Ukrainian counteroffensive's coming. Rozgavirda Spetsnaz. Rozgavirda Spetsnaz in here. Sorry about that injured. There's an injury there on one of them. You can see the Z. Show these to give you an idea of what the Russian fighters look like. Important to still see. It's important to identify what they look like in their uniforms, so you aren't presented with false information. And you can counter it and be like, no, that's not what they look like. Or that's not right. Identifying factors are white bands on the arms or red bands, white or red. And then another one on the leg. Ukraine wears blue, yellow, and green. Video of a Russian precision-guided missile strike on another long rectangular building. I swear we've seen this one. I swear we have. I swear we've seen this. It looks familiar, doesn't it? No one else in the comments on there has seen it, but I swear we've seen many of these exact looking types of buildings from these precision guided missile strikes from Russian sources being posted. They look very similar. Here you got servicemen and a BM-21 Grad multiple launch rocket system from the Pacific Fleet's 155th Naval Infantry Brigade. So you got Russians here.
Поздравляю всех морпехов и корабелов с Днем военно-морского флота России. Желаю крепкого десантного здоровья, бодрости духа и жизненного оптимизма. Помните, парни, победа будет за нами, сила в правде. А эта композиция звучит специально для вас. Илья, заводи пластинку.
That's a Grad multiple launch rocket system truck. Other thing too, did you guys notice the full screen videos? Are you enjoying the full screen videos? Comment in the live chat. Those that tune in on a nightly basis, shout out to our nightly audience. I made the videos full screen and just put myself in the lower right corner. It looks a little different than what you're used to. So again, now here's another picture of Russian military Spetsnaz with an AK-12, an IP-87, and a Valde night vision, NVG. With the soft shoes. Over there fighting in tennis shoes. Got dang skins like Call of Duty on their weapons. Using their rubles to get attachments and skins. Like what though? That's just all for the Instagram. All for the Instagram. Okay, that's it for Rob Lee. Let's go to the Ukraine War video report and see anything else we might have missed. Again, y'all, after we go through this Ukraine War video report, it's 11:30, but I'm up. Who's up? Who can't sleep at night? Come join us on Snack Squad TV after we're done with the Ukraine War video report on Reddit. I'm streaming Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider series on YouTube. On the Snack Squad TV YouTube channel. It's a gaming community. I stream video games over there. My softball streams. It's a chill YouTube channel. We can discuss some of the things we're talking about in current events in chat, but it's primarily like a gaming chill channel. Like safety meetings and it's a great community. Play Fall Guys on here, which is a blast. We do a bunch, but I'm going to be streaming Tomb Raider, which is an amazing game. If you just want to hang out with us and chill and watch an amazing story game, which I do stream a lot, to this YouTube channel. I primarily stream story video games. Hang on and head over to the Snack Squad TV YouTube channel, or just hang out in the Mercado Media live stream in the chat and I will redirect you to this live video. Shout out to the Snack Squad. All right, let's go through these last videos on the Ukraine War video report. Anything we might have missed for August 1st. Abandoned Russian camp on reclaimed territory. Do we have a location? This could be on the Inhluets River in the southern axis. I don't have a location. But anyway, it is a abandoned camp in reclaimed territory.
Засмітили.
Look at all the trash.
Ну, звичайно, як вони себе поводять, так вони і воюють. Бруд. Везде все воняет. Здесь русский мир. Здесь Русью пахнет. Будували хатки, везде залишили купи бруду.
So again, this is what was a Russian fighting position. Look at the trash everywhere, dude. Oh my god.
Вот это русский мир.
What a mess.
Что такое русский мир?
That's how true Russian world works. I know.
Настоящий русский мир. Русская
Wow.
армия. Сильно, непереможна. Просто жахіття якесь.
Of course, Vitaly.
Да, на жаль, цього не передати, бо дуже смердить. Цим. Ну, бачите, що тут додати нічого.
Wow. Just trash and garbage. You can identify that fighting position from all the garbage that is there. The Russian military is just, dude, if they fight, the only thing the Russian government in Russia has is its missiles and nukes, which is nothing to like scoff at or just be like, you know what I mean? That's very serious. Very, very serious and scary. So that's all they have, and their propaganda power. Their military is just a bunch of literal. We're looking at it. You're seeing it on your screen. We've already seen a video tonight of their air defense system that had trash all over it. Looked like a heaping pile of garbage. And then here's one of their fighting positions that Ukrainian soldiers rolling up to after they had liberated the village. Oh yeah, you're right. It's Russian camo. It's special Russian camo, not garbage. Special Russian military camo.
Символический знак георгиевской ленты на фоне сміття і лайна. Як я говорю.
Special Russian military camouflage. Adventures of Russians in Ukraine.
Як свині.
Littered all of the forest like pigs.
Всю посадку.
Wow, look at that.
Звичайно, як вони себе поводять, так вони і воюють.
And then, I mean, I'm vividly remembering. Oh, I'm not too vivid if I can't remember the city. Bucha. Oh my goodness. There's been so many cities in which Russia's committed war crimes. The biggest one is Bucha, and the vodka bottles that were just left and littered in the residential area, in the houses, in the backyards. The Russians were just having parties back there, and you could see it. You could see their campfires and vodka bottles everywhere. There was blow up dolls and shit everywhere. It's just they're not a professional military at all. They're just a bunch of people. They're just a bunch of useful idiots that were incentivized through money to fight a garbage war, and they're all going to die. Warning mines. Nice. You know what? I still haven't seen any mine video in which I'd be like, yeah, I'm actually comfortable with that now. After seeing these Darwin Awards. Granted, I'm sure all of the dangerous pieces inside of the mine are out of it. I mean, you can clearly see the hole on the top. You can see the hole in the top where the pressure plate goes is like missing, but still, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of these mind activities that they keep doing. We got to do it. Okay, spark an extra one up for Russian state TV alert. Russian state TV media update alert. Now, Russian state TV, State Duma Defense Committee's head Andrei Kartopolatov proposed taking Ukrainian children and shipping them off to military boarding schools in Russia. On Russian state TV, State Duma's Defense Committee's head Andrei Karpolov, okay, same thing, written twice. Not one word about asking of their parents' permission or even their own wishes. Okay, this sounds a little bit less. Okay, here you go. So taking Ukrainian children from occupied territories and shipping them off to military boarding schools in Russia. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Там масса проблем.
What was that?
Там масса проблем. На самом деле масса проблем. Там надо много чего восстанавливать, по сути, заново отстраивать. Но самая-то главная проблема на сегодня там это люди. Там еще есть дети. А дети это как раз та категория, над которой больше всего измывалась вот эта вот нацистская бандеровская сволочь, которые просто вымывали им мозги. Значит, нам надо сейчас, если мы хотим, чтобы вот эти территории были с нами, чтобы у них было будущее в составе Российской Федерации, заниматься не ветеранами в первую очередь, хотя всем тяжело, надо заниматься детьми. Это значит, что, наверное, в наших кадетских училищах, суворовских, нахимовских, можно провести дополнительный набор и забрать туда этих ребятишек. Наверное, в московские высшие учебные заведения, то другие в стране должны зарезервировать места дополнительные для студентов, которых разместить на бюджетной основе, в бесплатных общежитиях. Им нечем сегодня заплатить за образование. Но мы должны это сделать, потому что тогда люди поверят, что Россия это всерьез, это надолго и навсегда.
So, sending Ukrainian children to Russian schools, which is, yeah, that's horrifying.
No,
I want you to realize that a version of this is in the works. We've been reading reports on a nightly, there wasn't any update on it tonight, but we've already seen that the teachers of the school teachers in Ukraine and some of these occupied cities in the south are being sent to Russia already for relearning or learning the Russian propaganda to teach to the students, or to teach the Russian history of Ukraine that they want to teach. This is a version of this is already happening. They've already started to target the youth in some of the occupied cities in Ukraine, in Melitopol and Mariupol. They started to in Kherson, but again, in Kherson, the Ukrainians are on the outskirts of the city, and they're hitting all around Kherson. So Russians are in defense mode. But in some of these other cities in the south and in the east, they've already started doing a version of this, and then changing the entire curricula to a pro-Russian ideological curricula for the students. So this isn't that far off from reality. It's a version of that's happening already. Video from the Ukrainian 28th Mechanized Brigade showing a suicide UAV loitering munition used. Oh, we saw that. That's the same one we've seen already. Young Ukrainian girls put sunflowers in front of the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. A Russian diplomat arrives later and starts kicking the flowers. That happens, I mean...
Murderers! Murderer! Murderer!
Did anybody happen to film that?
Yep.
Whatever. That's in Washington, D.C. So you got kids putting sunflowers, and then the Russian diplomat at the embassy in Washington, D.C. kicking the sunflowers.
Murderer! Murderer!
Did anybody happen to film that?
Yeah.
I think there'd be like, maybe there will be eventually, but not yet. I think there would be like protests at these embassies, but there isn't. Unconfirmed special forces of Kosovo are deployed to the borders of Serbia. If it's unconfirmed, that's a, I don't want to, nah, it's unconfirmed. Serbian President Vučić speaking on Kosovo tonight. We will ask for peace, but I'll tell you right away, there will be no surrender and Serbia will win. If they try to start persecuting Serbs, bullying Serbs, killing Serbs, Serbia will win. What's this about? What? Kosovo, Serbia tensions over license plates. What? What is this? What is... Kosovo delays measure stirring tensions with minority Serbs. Kosovo's authorities early Monday moved to ease mounting ethnic tensions in the country by delaying a controversial order on a vehicle license plate and identifying cards that triggered riots by minority Serbs who put up roadblocks, surrendered air sirens, and fired their guns into the air. Kosovo government accused neighboring Serbia of instigating the riots in order to destabilize the country that declared its independence in 2008 after a NATO intervention that stopped Serbia's bloody crackdown against the ethnic Albanian separatists in 1999. Oh my God. China, Taiwan, Serbia, Kosovo, Russia, Ukraine. I guess we got to add this to the war updates every night too. Kosovo is also planning. But I need to know about this more. Kosovo is also planning to block its ethnic Serb minority from using Siberian identity cards when crossing the border. The same approach that Serbia uses for Kosovar citizens. So then, this video might not be off. Then let's see what this is, and we'll go to the next one. Budog, this is a live stream, and I don't pretend to know everything. Okay, that's the point. That's why people watch me, because I admit when I don't know something. So when I say that I don't know, we need to add it to our coverage so that way I do know. It's the only reason I know what I know about Ukraine is I've been live covering it now for 159 days. I have informed education on the subject, and I don't know anything about this, and I need to learn it before I tell you about it. I can't tell you about it if I don't know about it, right? So I will learn about that, and we'll add Kosovo and Serbia to the war updates, as well as China and Taiwan. Serbian President Vučić speaking in Kosovo. We will ask for peace, but I'll tell you right away, there will be no surrender, and Serbia will win.
Ali odmah da vam kažem, predaje neće biti i pobedit će Srbija. Drznuli se da krenu u progon Srba, maltretiranje Srba, ubijanje Srba, Srbija će pobediti.
Okay, I need to learn about that. I need to know the history and what's going on there. I don't know that right now. Here is I'll have that tomorrow, included as well as China and Taiwan. It is reported by several sources that the infamous Russian soldier who recorded himself torturing a Ukrainian POW has been eliminated. Rest in hell. That was the Russian soldier that castrated a Ukrainian prisoner of war with a box cutter. That's all I can. It was horrendous. Troubling chatter coming from Telegram about possible action in Serbia on Kosovo. What? Sirens and church bells are ringing. Serbian plates are no longer allowed into Kosovo. Of course Putin is behind this too. Of course it is. We're just don't forget the rumors of Transnistria and Moldova too. I still vividly remember that. That was planted in my brain months ago. That's a day ago, so that's old news. Scroll back up, see what's new.
Ей, збиралися орли чайку рихтувати, слави здобувати. А чи пан, чи пропав, двічі не вмирати. Ей, ви, хлопці, до зброї. А чи пан, чи пропав, двічі не вмирати. Ей, ви, хлопці, до зброї.
All right. Well, now that we have other topics to continue covering as well as Ukraine, my streams might go back to like 3 hours long. Who was here when I used to do like 6 hours long, 7 hours long of stream covering this? There isn't that much information coming out with Ukraine on it. There's enough to do a couple hours, like 2 to 3 hours a day, but not enough to do that many hours. But if I'm including Kosovo and Serbia and then also China and Taiwan, streams might be getting a little longer, okay? So tune in, dial in, get your snacks ready for Mercado Media streams. That's going to be it for the night. Hope to see all of y'all on Snack Squad TV. That's another night of war coverage. We're at about the 2 hour and 45 minute mark. Got extra things to continue covering beyond the war in Ukraine. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel on Mercado Media, follow the Facebook page on Mercado Media Facebook page of the same name. They're both the exact same. You can't miss it. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Shout out to our members, shout out to our supporters on Facebook, shout out to everybody that sent stars during the stream, super chats, super stickers, all of that supporting this media and let me continue on doing what I'm doing. I could not do it without y'all. I might be working at the state fair coming up in Minnesota, so I might have another job coming up, but right now I do this full time, and you guys are amazing that continue to help support me continue doing what I'm doing. I hope to see most of y'all on Snack Squad TV. I'm gonna have a safety meeting. I'm gonna push the stream back to midnight. It's 11:47 p.m. Let me go have a safety meeting and then get I turn the purple lights on so we get the Snack Squad vibe going, you know what I mean? And let me get fired up here. So thank you again for tuning in. I'll be live tomorrow night, so that's why I'm saying make sure you're subscribed to notification bells and all that stuff that you have to do extra because the social media platforms don't do it for you anymore. Because I'll be live again tomorrow night covering this war and then also Serbia, Kosovo, China, and Taiwan. See you guys on the next one. Orc Hunters, Snack Squad, Mercado out. Take care.